What's up, gang? It's another episode of the Fake Nerd Podcast, episode 271. New year, new us, new entertainment, baby. Future is what we're living in today, and we're going to talk about all the new releases coming out in 2022, unless they all get delayed like last year. I'm Ryan Leopoulos. I'm joined by my best buds in the world, not delayed Sparks Witty.
I'm not delayed. I am current and possibly needing later expansions for you to get the full content.
The newest expansion, Ben Magnet.
Woohoo! Just wait. The next expansion is going to be even bigger.
And the standalone DLC Island, Brandon T. McClure.
I prefer standalone DLC.
Well, then you might like Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island, but that's a whole nother story for 2022. Hi, guys. Welcome. It's another Sunday. Bless the Lord.
Did you say Iki Sunday?
I said Iki Island, which is the DLC for Ghost of Tsushima, but I also messed it up, so I'm just going to leave it alone.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode. We got some links, as always. So, Ryan, you did not do a Downright Annoyed this night.
No, we sure did not. I'll tell you what the movie is next week, because I'm not going to tell you, because how about that? You're just going to have to deal with it.
That link is down below, just kind of because I forgot.
That's okay. It's there if you want to be waiting for a week in bated breath.
Just keep that tab open for a week.
Yeah.
My Screen Rant stuff is in the description as well. A couple of articles went up this week. I didn't do anything else because I had a bad mental health week. So I prioritized the stuff that's paying me. So I did get some stuff up there, which is a Sean Levy list, who we're actually going to talk about today, which I'm excited about. A Spider-Man live action list, which I had fun writing. The Brendan Fraser list went up this week. That was pretty fun. There was a trailer for a Brendan Fraser movie I hadn't seen before with Matt Damon and Chris O'Donnell, and it's like his first thing. It's called School Ties, I think. And the whole thing is like, it's framed like, the trailer is like, oh, Brendan Fraser is an athlete and he's going to the school, and he's like, hey, we got to bring this guy over to our school so we can finally beat the other school because it's football. And like the whole trailer is like that, and then it's like Matt Damon's got a girlfriend, and Brendan Fraser likes the girlfriend, and the girlfriend likes Brendan Fraser, but like it's a love triangle. I'm like, okay, love triangle, football movie, cool. And then all of a sudden Matt Damon just goes, I didn't know you were a Jew. And I'm like, oh, this took a turn.
Oh no, not Matt Damon.
And the rest of the trailer is about how Brendan Fraser is Jewish at a Catholic school. And I was like, I did not see this coming.
What are these candles doing in this preacher's box?
Yeah, it was wild. Anyway, so those and many more are up there on that's linked below. I'm having a good time doing that. Ben.
Yeah.
You had 2 new episodes of your collaboration with Grayson Live dropped.
Yep. Two new parts of us playing through Super Mario 3D World are up on his YouTube channel, as Brandon said. Links down below. And is that all I had this week? No, I have one more. Do you want me to talk about it, or do you want to introduce it?
The Basement Arcade pause menu?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, you can say it.
Yeah. Also, a brand new episode of Basement Arcade pause menu went up this week. I sit down with now my colleague from Fusion Gaming Magazine, Retro Faith, about working as a video game journalist in the current world. It's a very insightful episode. I think for those who want to get into video game journalism, that's a good spot to go because she gets some really good insight. Although I must say the first part of the episode, like the first half really, is us talking and ranting about games and about how she doesn't like RPGs. And I sit there going, but I love RPGs. But it's a good conversation nonetheless. So I highly recommend it. Yep, different strokes for different folks. And and also disclaimer, when we recorded that, I had no idea I was going to eventually write for Fusion, and now I do. So yay.
That exists as an audio and a video episode, so both those links are below.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all we got put out this week. That's all we did. Oh, Sparks?
I just wanted to say, like, no Mortal Kombat this week. It was my intention to get it out. I am busy working on a thing for a deadline, so that's going to take priority. And when I'm comfortably ahead of that, then Mortal Kombat will be on that docket. But I had to go. Mortal Kombat takes a little bit of time because that one I do more work than usual for a lot of our videos because I'm balancing the audio of the game compared to our voices and making sure that the levels stay consistent so that the game doesn't sound super quiet when we sound super loud and that kind of thing. So I have to do a lot more work there. So that's going to take a little bit longer because I got to work on another thing.
No problem, man. Our lives come first.
Hey, okay.
that's all the links down below. Who wants to get going with their week?
I'll go because I think I did mostly everything with you. The one thing that I did is I started watching The Legend of Vox Machina. I watched the first episode. Y'all, something unexpected happened watching that show. I got emotional because it's really crazy to see. Like, Critical Role started, obviously it's like $1 million thing now. Like, they're all rich and famous and all that stuff. They're already famous because they're voice actors, but like, it is super big now worldwide. When that thing started, it was just people like playing D&D in their living room with a camera. And it was very personal. Just like, we just want to play D&D with people, like online. And it's turned into like an empire of entertainment. And seeing this like incredibly well made, like it looks like Avatar, super rated R. There's nudity and gore in the first 5 minutes, like animated fantasy show based off something I spent, again, hundreds of hours invested in, and it's like not lazy, it's like high quality. It's like, holy shit, this is cool. It was like a moment of like, that's something I recognized from one of the episodes, like a stupid cow thing, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
I am so happy there's someone else on the show who's been watching Vox Machina, because I am
Ben, I have news for I'm kidding.
I mean, if you did, I was gonna say yay. Yeah, because I watched the first episodes last week. I watched the episodes this week. Yeah, well, I'll talk about more about my week, but yeah, you keep going, Ryan. I'm just happy.
Yeah, I only watched the first episode. But like, if you watch the trailer, this isn't a spoiler, but like, it opens with like these superheroes of legend came to stop this thing, and they all get like X-Force like murdered immediately in graphic, horrible ways. And it's like, so who's gonna save the world? And it's just a bunch of drunken idiots. But like, the thing that gets them propelled into the world and what their mission is, it actually, like, it is emotional and it's really well done. I'm like, oh shit, like, this isn't just like, they didn't just make it just to make it. Like they have a cool story to tell. And I think it's really well done. And like, it is very, very traditional fantasy shit, you know, like traditional elves and dwarves and like the Mist of Avalon did this. And it's like, it's very like, that's not important. It's about the characters. But like, really well done. And like, everyone in Critical Role is involved. So like, it's made with so much love. If you're a fan of the show, you'll love it. If you're not, I still think you'll get a lot out of it being a rated R fantasy show. And then I did everything with you. So when we can just jump in.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me see.
I played a lot of Fortnite with and without friends.
Yeah. Some good games this week.
Spider-Man, I'm this close to getting Symbiote Spider-Man. He's in my web grasps.
I filled a little bit of like minor moments of time with continuing to try to catch up on Craig of the Creek, because I'm back in the Creek and I love Craig of the Creek. I think that's a fantastic children's cartoon.
That's the guy.
Super great. And yes, the one of the writers is coming over as showrunner for Spider-Man Freshman Year. We talked about that when that was announced. Craig of the Creek's A+ cartoon. Watch this week's How I Met Your Father. I'm only going to highlight something which is really cool, is that Josh Peck is on that show. And Josh Peck is the person that Hilary Duff's character Sophie is currently dating, and watching an episode where Josh Peck and Hilary Duff date is just wild. To the child brain watching, and like Josh Peck is such a different performer from who he used to be in his presence here.
It's fair.
Wild to watch.
It's not fair to Josh Peck because he's a grown man and he is an adult, but all I can think of him as being just like the big kid in that show. It's so hard for me to take him seriously. He's one of the only actors where I'm like, oh, I just see you as the kid.
That's honestly what's so jarring about it, because I swear to God, like, good for him. Like, he's lost weight and he's doing a lot with his life and all this kind of stuff. But like, honestly, it's about more than the weight. It's the way he carries himself. It's the way he speaks. He's practically unrecognizable except for his eyes. Yeah. Like, I almost forget he's Josh Peck. Yeah. Most of the time. I don't know if you had this experience, Brandon, but that's how I'm feeling watching him.
Josh Peck, I had grandfathered as something that I've seen him in before, which was the show that he did with John Stamos, where he plays a single dad. So like I had that buffer coming into this, so I was prepared for this version of Josh Peck.
Yeah, it's just wild. He's so hard to see the child in anymore. The youth.
I think it's just because
he's when you compare like Drake, you still see Drake Bell or whatever his name is now. I forget. And you still see him completely in himself as he's presented. And like Josh Peck is like nigh unrecognizable, but he seems very comfortable with his new role.
I lied. about my week because I literally have a stack of comics I put right here.
Oh, yeah, you read
to
so many
remind
comics.
me, and I did it in front of my eyes. So real quick, I went to the comic store and I caught up on some comics. I'm going to real quickly talk about them. Marauders 27.
There's a lot of. I need to check on my girlfriend.
Check on your girlfriend.
I'll be right
So
back.
Marauders 27 came out. This is the end of Marauders with Jerry Duggan. It's getting relaunched with Steve Orlando with the #1 after the big event X Lives of Wolverine. Great book. Kate Pryde still cool. Emma Frost is still my girl. Teams are changing. This is kind of a final issue of like setting up the stage for the next run. Really glad Marauders was happening. Sabretooth, y'all. You need to pick up Sabretooth. I figured you were going to.
It's all in my pool.
No, I
just haven't
know.
gone. Yeah,
No, I know. Victor Lavelle, who did Destroyer, which is like a modern day Frankenstein retelling or sequel. Really, really awesome writer. And I wasn't sure what he's going to do with Sabretooth, because Sabretooth is very much a very surface level. I'm a dude who murders and hurts women. Like, he's very much just an antagonist. And he's that in this book too. But Victor Lavelle manages to give him like evil levels where he becomes more like a Hannibal. And like his whole thing is like, since Hawkspox, he's been trapped in hell.
Because I was going to ask. Because I know, like, I remember when we were reading House of X Powers of 10 that he was stuck in like this pit. Like, you go in the pit, you're screwed. And I'm just sitting there going like, okay, I know eventually they're gonna pull him out of the pit, but it's been so long, and I'm like, what, did they forget about Sabretooth? What's going on with Sabretooth? And now that we have this new book, I'm like, oh, they're doing something with Sabretooth.
No, they purposefully like left Sabretooth off the ground because for the last 2 years he's been doing shit in this pit unbeknownst to the entire world. And like, he's basically, I don't want to give too much away, but like, if you're on the fence, I highly recommend it, because it's basically turning Sabretooth into something else, giving him a higher power, not just in terms of power, like how strong he is, but like in the scope of like who he is. And like, he's getting basically like a ranking up in the X-Men world in a way. And it's really fascinating to see. So like,
honestly, after that Juggernaut 5-issue series was like a surprise to everybody. I'm not surprised. The X-Line's just murdering it.
Speaking of, these are all X books basically. I caught up on X-Men. This is the Jerry Duggan, Pepe Larraz X-Men. This book continues to be rad. Pepe Larraz is probably the best working artist in comics. There's one page in here, I don't want to spoil it, I already spoiled it for Sparks here, of Cyclops doing like the coolest thing I've ever seen Cyclops do in a comic. And he uses his Cyclops blast to ricochet off like 100 different things to kill a bunch of different enemies. That's awesome. And it's just beautiful. And it's like, all right, Cyclops can be really, really cool. Big event happening, y'all. Big event. X Lives of Wolverine, X Deaths of Wolverine. This is like the next Hawkspox where it's a weekly series. X Lives of Wolverine #1, totally fine first issue. It throws you in, but not in kind of a fun way. We're like, ooh, I'm curious. It's like, I really don't know what's happening. The art's great, but it was really confusing. X Deaths of Wolverine, which is the next issue, clears it up a little bit more. Now I see what the story's about. Definitely on board now. It's all about Moira stuff. So this is, if you need more Moira after Inferno, which you guys haven't read, it's also in this book.
That's great.
It's fantastic. And finally, Eternals. Eternals is so good, y'all. After that movie, I was like, I'm gonna fix up on Eternals and read more of it. And then I read all of it, and then I watched that movie. I'm like, hey, I like this more. Thanos is like the star of this book, y'all, and he is like, spoilers for older issues of Eternals, he's the leader of the Eternals. He got voted in, kind of like Wilson Fisk as mayor. Really cool shit. There's a big event we're gonna be talking about later in the news, and the end of this issue directly leads into that. So I'm glad I read it. Comics are pretty cool, y'all. Back to Craig of the Creek.
Actually,
no, I know you don't.
Yeah, we weren't on Craig.
No, I know.
We are going to talk about Book of Boba Fett.
Let's do it. Let's do it before Brandon gets back.
Before Brandon gets back, let's quickly just touch on Book of Boba Fett.
But Ben, are you watching?
Caught up. Yeah, I'm caught up. I watched it.
Okay. I expect Ben does his diligence and watches Star Wars immediately.
Yeah,
he lives in a Star Wars house.
Or as soon as I can, but yeah, I do live in a Star Wars house. So when new Star Wars things comes out, we gotta watch the new Star Wars thing.
It's the most.
I am eager for next week when we finally get to do our Fake Nerds Watch discussion, because now I have many thoughts, and I've been collecting them and thinking about the first episodes and listening to podcasts that I've avoided listening to talk about it, and be like, okay, evaluating my thoughts and evaluating what they were saying before they knew what the show was going to do. And hey, we're talking about Boba Fett real quick. And Brandon's like, okay, bye. And I am so mixed
It's the
Friends.
It's the most conflicted I've felt about a show in a long time, because like the thing that they're giving me is like I think objectively good, but in terms of like storytelling and narrative and like being a show about a character when it's not the main character, it's just like, man, just baffling decisions, truly baffling decisions being made. I think
we're gonna do a special, so I'm not gonna get specific, and I'm not gonna like harp on points or anything, and I'm not gonna spoil. Although I think if you're on the internet, you know everything.
They're savage. They're savage
because it's the entire discourse right now.
Yeah.
But I think for me, the biggest thing about this last episode wasn't just like it's obviously like this is not a major spoiler that it's turning the story away from Boba Fett when the story was supposed to be about Boba Fett. It's not just that. It's that this is cool stuff. This is stuff I do like in a macro sense, but it's all presented in the most like messy. Like this was the worst, I think, of every episode of The Mandalorian and Boba Fett. This is the worst paced episode I think I've ever seen. It's just jumping from fan beat to fan beat without any kind of real consistent thread to its thought of why it's jumping between these story points or anything like that. And I was like, wow, it just feels like everybody kind of turned their brains off about this one and just went, what do we think the fans want the most? And just shoved all that in. And I can't quite wrap my head around how Filoni did that. I kind of get Favreau. I kind of wish that he wasn't writing every episode of this show, but we'll get into that in a special. Those are
Can I speak a little bit on it? I won't speak on what happened. I haven't seen it. I don't have an opinion on the last 2 episodes, even though I know practically everything that's happened. But at first I decided to like give it some time because I did really like those first episodes, and now those first 3 episodes, and now I'm kind of hesitant to go back because I'm like, for a different reason, which is that I liked the Boba Fett show I was getting.
No, so
I liked the show about Boba Fett. I wanted a show about Boba Fett, and now that we've gone so far away from that, I'm like, I don't know if I want that disappointment.
Yeah. I think presentation is a big problem. I think expectation and presentation is going to be, again, I'm looking forward to our special to discuss about this because I think I wouldn't feel quite the same. I'd have problems, but I wouldn't feel quite in the place I do if the show weren't called The Book of Boba Fett, if the show wasn't marketed as the story of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And that, honestly, now I'm looking back at the trailers and I'm like, all the footage they showed us was everything that involved Boba Fett.
Yeah.
And the things that they didn't show us were things that didn't involve Boba Fett. And so it's like, oh yeah, these are cool reveals, but they have nothing to do with the character the show's supposed to be about. So it's I think that there's a big problem in how this was led up to.
Yeah.
There's going to be a special next week, y'all. We're going to talk about it.
There is. Quick little side note on that, because I did watch the episode, and I have a friend of mine at work who also keeps up with Boba Fett. And when I saw him this week, he asked me, it was like, hey, did you watch the new episode of Boba Fett? And I looked at him and said, oh, you mean season 3 of The Mandalorian?
It's true.
Yes,
it's true.
Joke is there for
It's
sure.
true.
But it's a messier and more complicated, and we'll get into it next week. But I also wanted to watch the Under the Helmet Boba Fett documentary to feel good about some Boba Fett stuff, which is on Disney Plus. That's a fun documentary, guys. It's got a lot of cool information, and it's well presented, well edited, and it's nice and short. Real easy to do.
Bing bong.
I watched Jackass 3, which I had never seen. And I had a great time. Yeah. We had a moment. We wanted to just do something that was just for us, and so we decided to watch Jackass 3. I think it was a good decision. Maybe one thing just a little too gross for me.
Which one was it?
the hill with the train set.
Oh,
that
yeah.
one I'm just like, this isn't. This is maybe a little too stupid.
No, I get
for
it.
Me.
That
one's maybe just flying a little
no, I
too
get
down.
it. If they didn't always do that nasty shit, then I'd be like, why did you do this? But like literally every movie they have like a poop mountain. Yeah, literally like there's a poop mountain. That's all I gotta say. Jackass. Something that's been in my life since birth, because it's almost, it's 30 years old at this point. 25 years old. It's just a bunch of dudes having fun doing like the most extreme stunts and gross gags you possibly can, but all in the name of good fun. Watching this again, I forgot how just like almost homoerotic some of it is, because like these dudes are just always just like half naked.
Oh
and,
my
like,
gosh.
Yeah, and it's not, and it's the thing, because like when I was a kid, I didn't think anything of it, and then watching them now, like, oh, like they're not like homophobic or anything. They're just like a bunch of fun dudes who just like to have fun. They're also like really close to each other.
They have zero qualms with being intimate with each other's male
anatomy. Refreshing. It's really refreshing. They're like, yeah, like these straight dudes can also be really like comfortable with their sexualities, and like back then, I think that's like honestly a way of like why I'm so comfortable with myself, because like from age like 10, I was like watching these guys do stupid shit. I'm like, oh, it's no big deal. They're just bodies. Who cares? You know? It was very interesting to watch. Also, this movie was made during the 3D Renaissance, so the entire movie was filmed in 3D, which made some scenes just it's a gag in 3D, and I'm like, it didn't really work.
But it is funny. It is funny even still not being in 3D, because it's the context of like no other movie's gonna shove a big dildo in your face in 3D.
Yeah, dildo
so
cannons.
Like,
yeah. Really, really fun times. Primed for that new one that's out now.
Speaking of the new one, Mag. Hey, Mag, how's it going, bud? He
Hi,
said
Mag.
it was a great time watching Jackass 4 more than Moonfall, which he also saw this week.
The box office agrees with you.
We've seen neither of those. One of them we'll definitely see sometime soon.
I mean, I'll see both of them soon, but
I would actually like to see Jackass 4. I haven't seen Jackass 3, but I do remember seeing Jackass 2 in theaters with my dad. We just went on a random Sunday night once, and we were cackling in that theater the whole time.
Good movie theater experience.
So I just want to bring up real quickly. We had considered reviewing Moonfall for this week's episode, but we decided against it because the reviews were not great, and I figured we should probably see it to see if any of us are going to like it. I've seen mixed reports of like it's so stupid, it's fun, and it's just stupid. So I'm curious to see. it because I still want a good fun sci-fi movie. So we'll see where I fall. But I'm very excited for Jackass 4.
Well, you could see Moonfall, Brandon, for all of us.
I will. I'll take that.
I'm definitely waiting for someone to tell me that there's a reason I should see Moonfall in theaters. I'm still kind of curious enough to want to watch it, what Emmerich's got up his sleeve at some point, but I don't know that.
He spoiled it in an interview that there's nothing special about what we've already seen. Which, he himself said, yeah, it's nanomachines. So unless there's a special monster in there, I don't care anymore. He himself did it. I have a spoiler. I wouldn't think it's a spoiler.
I'm not mad about that. What I was going to say is like nanomachines are ugly.
It's ugly. That's why I thought there was like a monster at the center of it, and apparently it is not.
I've had an issue with like the MCU going into hardcore nanomachines because I'm like, I don't like magic technology, and that's all nanomachines have become is this idea that like we can just do whatever. I still got Independence Day 2, which I still hold is a very stupid, fun movie.
I don't even mind that as much. It's just that nanomachines have become like the go-to excuse because it's literally just the easiest thing to create because it's particle effects. And you don't need to do anything with particle effects at a certain distance. You just have them and you move them and you don't have to do anything.
They did that in the Transformers movies too. They like either the last one or whatever, like they made up nano Transformers. I'm like, why?
Transformium.
Why?
Anyway, on my week still, I watched the first 2 episodes of Murderville, which is on Netflix with Will Arnett, where he's Ben. Do you know what Murderville is?
No.
Okay, so the pitch is this is a show on Netflix. It's 6 episodes right now. Will Arnett is doing a character who is a detective, and he's got to solve a murder case. But each episode, he gets a new partner from the chief. And Will Arnett and all the other actors in the show have a script, but they don't share the script with the improvisational actor who comes in. So you got Conan O'Brien, Kumail Nanjiani, Ken Jeong, Sharon Stone, all of these actors who are coming in, and they don't know what they're going to be doing or what's going to happen. They are just improvising their way with Will Arnett through the murder case, and they have to try to solve, because there is an answer, who the killer is by the end of the episode. It's very entertaining. I really enjoyed it.
Is this like a reality show or is it?
No. It's filmed just like any kind of. It's filmed just like any kind of regular show. It's just a basic detective show, but they don't know what the script is at all, and so the actors also have to respond to what they do as improvers. And what I really appreciate about this is that it's very easy to see that they are trying to find ways to really twist the improving actors into knots, try and mess them up, trip them up, slip them up, make them laugh, because that's the fun. And it definitely happens. These actors, like, they break character all the time.
I don't know why, but do you guys remember that old game show, Thank God You're Here?
Yes.
Brandon, yeah, it's for those of you who don't remember, Thank God You're Here was a show, or it was a game show, but it was also an improv show where a bunch of actors walk through a door and they don't know, they're just given a costume and nothing else. They walk into a door in a scene, and it always starts off with one of the actors who knows what the situation is with, thank God you're here, and it's the actor's job to like act through the scene.
Sure, this sounds vaguely familiar. Yeah,
I was waiting for a trailer for Murderville, and then it was out.
There was a trailer.
There was a trailer.
One.
We just
I know. I just missed it.
Yeah, it dropped this week. Really enjoyed the first 2 episodes. My favorite thing about it, and the only thing I really feel like I need to highlight here on the show, is that what I was saying is of course it's their goal to try to break the improving actor, and they show you that they're breaking them. But Will Arnett sometimes breaks too because of what they're doing or their reactions or how they're handling themselves. Conan O'Brien broke Will Arnett a lot unintentionally just because Conan would decide to present a line or stand awkwardly because he got nervous and weird doing his improv, and Will Arnett just was like, why are you doing that? And that would be really funny because Will was just thrown by Conan's very presence of not knowing what to do. But my favorite thing about it is that they maintain anytime any of the actors break. So when the improver, there's a part where Conan breaks one of the actors with what he decides to say, and they kept it in the cut rather than trying to maintain the illusion of the seriousness of all the other actors, and it's only the person who's a guest breaking. They allow everybody to break. They allow everybody to have fun. But it feels very well made. It's just nice fluff, guys. It's just really fun to watch.
I'm gonna watch that.
I will go about this in this order. Peacemaker, new episode, really liked it. Really liked it. Brandon caught up on Peacemaker. Really happy that you're here.
I don't know what we're talking about.
Did you go through it all in like a sitting?
2 sittings.
Okay.
It was very difficult to stop that first sitting because we only watched, I think, 2 episodes, and then we decided the next day, let's watch an episode. Well, we got to see what happens next. We got to see what happens. Oh, we definitely got to see what, and we just finished it.
Right. Peacemaker's great. Very much looking forward to that special where we get to talk about it more. John Cena's been on the mind, so Ryan and I decided to watch Vacation Friends, the Hulu original film that we saw a trailer for a while back.
Yeah.
Really entertaining. Very happy that they're making another. They clearly had a good time working together. John Cena is wholesome and fun.
Like always. Like
Yeah.
he's almost like devilishly just like too good at his job.
Right.
I think I might be a little less hot on it than you, but I did really like it. It's definitely worth watching once. It's definitely like if you have nothing to do, watch it on like a Saturday afternoon. It reminded me of a bunch of other movies. I'm like, I like this movie so much more. But it's definitely like a good version of one of those movies. They definitely hammer in like drama because it's a movie and you need tension, and like you didn't have you're doing this because the movie's in the 3rd act and you need to do this. I'm like, I get it.
They don't do anything to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah.
But they spin the wheel very, very well.
Yes. Again, like watching John Cena and I forget.
I gotta look up his
name. Lil Ray, I think his name is. He was in Up and a bunch Us, a bunch of other things.
Free Guy.
Free Guy. Yeah, he's the friend of Free Guy. The security guard. Yeah. They're awesome. Like they're comedic.
Yeah, Lil Ray Howery.
Yeah, Lil Ray Howery. Their comedic timing is so good.
Honestly, also Meredith Hagner, who plays John Cena's partner, is really good. I have not seen her in a lot, but she was stealing some moments.
Yeah. She's on Search Party, which is a TBS show.
Yeah.
Because I just watched an interview with her where that's like the thing she's on. Yeah, like worth watching definitely if you want to see John Cena be just a wacky dude.
Yeah,
wacky dude.
I think the reason I'm most excited for a sequel is because I felt like the most fun was the first 25 minutes of just batshit insanity.
Of just them being on vacation.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like because of where their relationship is at the end of this movie, in a sequel, we'll get a lot more of that kind of batshit insanity because you get past the drama part.
Yes. Like they don't want to be their friends.
Exactly. And I'm really in for that.
Same.
So those things. And then the last thing I'll talk about is that Megan and I popped our Apple TV Plus cherry. And we started watching The After Party.
Oh, I'm so excited to start that.
You should be. It's very, very, very good. There are 4 episodes out now. The 4th episode came out on Friday. We've watched all of them. Really like it. For those who aren't familiar with the concept, what happens is that, and this is not a spoiler because it's the opening shot of the show. Dave Franco's character dies at an after party for his 15th high school reunion, and they have to come in and find out what happened because they believe it's foul play. So they are interviewing everyone that's in his house, who are all people who were at high school with him. And they've all been around each other for the entire night because they were at the high school reunion before that. And Tiffany Haddish has this detective who believes that everybody has their own personal movie story to tell. And so the whole bit is that each episode is one of the characters telling their version of the story of the night. And it's in a different genre of film. So the very first one is like a guy who sees himself as living in a romantic comedy. The next episode is a guy who very much believes he's Vin Diesel in the Fast and Furious franchise. And it's filmed that way. And it's really, really well filmed that way. Like, it's filmed like a Fast and Furious movie. The way that they place actors in the shots is the same way that they'll like frame them and shit. They know what they're doing.
We watched the trailer for this. This is the Lord and Miller one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really enjoy it. Really talented cast. Great bits that they're doing. I think the premise is really cool. It's a great way to unravel a mystery story. The fact that they committed as hard as they did to the genre, the fact that you can piece together where like you are starting to see where people forgot that a character even existed because the whole bit is that everybody kind of forgot this dude in high school. So you got one recounting of a story, and when you get another, there's a person who actually recognized and interacted with him, and you saw that moment before, and he just wasn't there because the other character didn't even care that he was there. And you'll get all those kinds of bits and see how like their perspectives are really shifting the narrative of what happened that night.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Fun fact, I went to high school with one of the producers.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yep, she and I were both in a drama class together. We were actually in quite a few shows together.
Save the drama for your mama.
Yeah, just really tight writing, great presentation. I don't think it's the thing that made it clear to me. I think I always kind of knew, but like just there's a lot that they're doing with Dave Franco's character I really appreciate, and Dave Franco is so clearly a stronger actor than his brother. It's just wild. I love that I think this is the best version of him knowing that he's playing an asshole. I think this is the best I've ever seen that utilized with him, where he's like, his character has on some level of knowledge that he's a piece of shit. And that comes through in some people's depictions of him.
It's going to sound really strange, but I really like Dave Franco. I think he's a great actor. I've always liked him more than James Franco. And I noticed it when I watched the two Neighbors films, because I think he's very good, especially in that second one.
I agree. He's very good in those movies. Yeah, there's something. I think that there's something where like he's so often there's almost a type that Dave Franco is so often playing a lot. Not that he's definitely broken it from time to time, but like so often it's this kind of douche nozzle who's not just like that kind of dude, that guy, that guy in college. Neighbors is actually a good example of it. Like he's that guy, he's that friend. He's kind of got that same character. And there's a lot of that still to this character, but there's also an undercoating level where he knows he's that guy, and he knows that guy isn't who he actually is. And I really appreciate it.
That's awesome.
Love it.
Everything?
No, yeah, that's me.
All right, Ben.
Once again, not a whole lot this week. I did finish Mobile Suit Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket, which was one of the few Gundam shows that Sparks loaded me. So yay, finally finished that. Short. I'm surprised it took me this long to finish it, but short 6 episodes, really good watch. Not really much to say on it, except I kind of feel bad for the kid who befriends a Xeon soldier who infiltrated his colony, and one of his other friends turned out is a Federation pilot of the new Secret Gundam, and it's like, oh, this is not going to end well, and it does not end well. But really good. Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Besides that, played some Final Fantasy, played Knockout City with Brandon, played a little bit of Fortnite with you guys for a hot second, I think. And
real quick, Ben, because you brought up Gundam, it's not in our news because I don't think we need to put it in our news, but real quick, I just think it's interesting that they announced the next Gundam project that they're making. Did you see what it is?
No.
They're making a movie remake of the episode 17 to like 19 arc of the original series. which is really weird. That they're just like picking a section out of the middle of the story from the original series and turning it into a film, but that's what they're doing.
Maybe it's like the most intense part.
It is apparently like one of the most intense parts. I'm not there yet, but like I heard like, yes, it's like a big, it's just fascinating. I don't think this has ever been done quite in this way with anime, where like they've just sectioned out not an entire saga or season or something, but just,
End of Evangelion.
but just a portion of episodes.
Yeah.
Like
Is that- I wonder if that's the invasion of Jaburo.
Bless you.
It's been a while.
yeah.
Either way, yeah, I did not hear this, but yeah, that is interesting. All right. But yeah, the other big thing I watched is obviously Boba Fett, and I talked about it earlier with Ryan, but Vox Machina. That show is great. I'm really happy that Amazon, instead of releasing it, because when they first released it, they released 3 episodes. Like, okay, I'm gonna get 1 a week. This week they released another 3, so we got 6 episodes to go through. So I'm like, yes, give me all of it. Ryan, you're not there yet, but since you have listened to the entirety of the first campaign of Vox Machina, there are so many Easter eggs and there are so many in-jokes that just make me smile, and I am so looking forward to what they're going to do with the rest of the show. I am super excited, and it's a great show. And even if you haven't seen any of Vox Machina or you haven't listened to them, it's still a fun show to watch. It is very hard rated R, but it's still great. The actors are still giving it 110% like they were during the first campaign, and it's just so much fun to watch. I cannot wait to watch more of Vox Machina. Makes me want to play Dungeons and Dragons even more again.
Oh yeah, me too for sure. All of those voice actors are really good, but like, dude, Laura Bailey, holy shit, that lady is like possibly like the best voice actor alive right now. Because like the way like her Vex is like I'm a British elf or whatever, but like she's Black Widow and she's also like in The Last of Us and she's also in Uncharted and she's in so many other games and like she's like the lady in Call of Duty Vanguard. I'm like, she is so freaking good. Holy shit. I'm like, I appreciate her. She's so cool. Anytime she shows up, and I'm like, yeah.
I had to keep reminding myself that's Laura Bailey because I was like, unfortunately I got Laura and Marisha Ray like mixed up. I was like, who plays Vex and who plays Kiki?
Keyleth.
Keyleth, yeah. It's like so good, just so good. Yeah, the show.
They're all great. Yeah.
Show's great. Also, they're short 16 or not 60-minute episodes. They're like 20, 25-minute episodes, and they're easy to get through. It's just I'm really looking forward to coming home on Thursday nights now.
I probably know the answer to this, but are the people who played the roles in the campaign voicing their characters in the show?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
I got a question, Brandon. Why wouldn't they?
I don't know. I was just curious.
Okay, yeah, no, like they were involved in the making of it. It's like, oh, it's all of them. Oh yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah. Even the DM Matthew Mercer, he gets a few lines here and there.
Oh yeah, I immediately recognize him as just like a townsperson. I'm like, oh, there he is.
Well, no, they actually draw all the characters that Matt plays as Matt in the show. So it's like, there he is. It's like it's like whenever you watch an episode that Matt Mercer is in, it's like a Where's Waldo or a Where's Matt.
Find the white dude. Yeah.
Dude, I can't wait till you get to episode 6 because I'm not gonna say who he plays, but what's his name? The guy who played Sandor Clegane in Game of Thrones, he's in the show now.
Oh, that's sick. Okay, yeah. I like that guy. Okay.
Yeah, he is menacing as all hell, and I'm thank God for Amazon having that X-ray thing, so I can see who plays what. And I'm like, oh,
it is more helpful than I could have ever imagined because I'm just like, who's that? Bing bong. So like, it's like,
pretty much.
It's very helpful.
You could do it. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's very helpful when watching Invincible.
Very helpful. Yeah. Besides that, played some more Final Fantasy 3, just going through that slowly but surely. Did a lot of recording with Grayson Live yesterday, so we have a lot more Super Mario 3D World coming up. And that's about it. I'm just looking forward to a big football game coming up this week.
That's right. A sport thing is happening. The Olympics are happening right now, aren't they?
They are happening right now. I was actually watching the Olympics a little bit while I was eating dinner. Oh, I watched Demon Slayer a few minutes right before we start recording.
Very cool.
Yeah, Demon Slayer is good. It makes me sad. I can't wait to see the next episode because my heart.
Alrighty. I guess my turn. I didn't, like I mentioned up top, I had a bad mental health week, so I didn't read a whole lot. For whatever reason, it just affects my reading more than I like it. But I did read a couple more issues of Last Annihilation. Awesome. Love that. Cable Reloaded is so good. I read a little bit more of my book. It's a great book. That's a really good book. I'm really happy I'm reading it.
You keep saying your book, Brandon, to the audience who maybe it's their first time listening. You should tell them what the book is.
So yeah, you're right. It's Star Trek Destiny, Book 1, Gods of Night. I'm about more than a quarter of the way. No, more than a third of the way through. And I think it's very good. It keeps bouncing from like the 22nd century to the 24th century, and then it's like this section takes place in this time period, and it's so good. But speaking of Star Trek, I finished Star Trek Prodigy Season 1, Part 1. This is the 10 episodes that make up the first part of Star Trek Prodigy have finished. They've wrapped. Star Trek Discovery is coming back next week. And I wanted to bring it up specifically because I thought these 5 were very good. I wasn't too crazy about Prodigy when the first 5 were airing. I thought they were good, but they didn't really grab me because I had a big problem with the characters. I found most of them to be very unlikable. And not in a sense that like I believe they couldn't grow into likable characters, but in a sense of like you should already be growing into a new character, into a character that I could see myself like, and you're just not. There is also a bit of that in this part of the season, but the biggest problem I felt of the season was that the main mystery of the season, Discovery had this problem too in its first season, but they fixed that, is the idea that when you're doing a serialized show, you're supposed to bring the audience along with the mystery of the serialization of what's the big reveal going to be at the end. You're supposed to bring the audience along with them, and the characters, but it's so spaced out, and the characters never engage with the mystery until like the 2-part episodes, like the ones that are like the ones that matter. So there's too much filler going through where the characters are learning stuff, but not engaging with the material that is being learned for like another 3 episodes. And so it becomes very frustrating because you're just like, well, you gave me something, but I what the hell? So like, it doesn't feel like we're going on the journey with them. And that was frustrating, but I think they are getting better. And I hope that the next half of the season does it better. And then towards the end of this part, one character specifically grew the hell up, and I was very appreciative of it because I was getting so sick of it. But ultimately solid. And I'm starting to enjoy it. Just wish the mystery was kind of spaced out a bit better.
Is this the children's one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it's family. It's the family one.
The one for Nick, the kids.
Yeah, it's one for Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Or is it Nicktoons now? It's not Nickelodeon anymore.
I don't know.
Yeah, I watched it on Paramount Plus. I would never know.
Right. I'm not being belittling. I watch children's cartoons made for children all the time. Like they get great. I'm not belittling it when I say that. It's just that is.
Yeah, and then I read an interview afterwards with the showrunner, which was honestly incredible, because that guy knows his shit. Like the two guys who are working on the Star Trek animated shows, like the biggest Star Trek nerds on the planet, and then like they can't even be bothered. Like the live action stuff has just like, yeah, I've seen an episode. It's so weird how that happened.
I think like the most relevant question I could ask you about this is, do you think this is a good introduction for children to Star Trek? Do you think it is giving them the thing they need to get propelled into that universe and be interested in it as they get older?
Could they watch this and then watch Next Generation?
Not like immediately, but like, is it a good like first taste of the Star Trek universe for young minds? Do you think it's doing a good job of that? Not necessarily like do you think this is serving an appetite that would develop?
That's a really good question because I don't really know. My instinct is to honestly say no, because there's a lot of deep lore stuff that we get into in the first episode where it's like, this is not the Federation, it's in the Delta Quadrant, and then Janeway shows up, and then the Protostar is like an NX ship. And it's like, there's a lot of like deep lore stuff that like Star Trek fans would know. But then I see on Twitter a lot about like Star Trek fandom sharing the show with their kids and their kids just eating it up. So I'm like, I guess there is something here for the kids, and perhaps because I'm much older, that I'm just not seeing it.
What they're eating up is the aesthetic because it looks like a kid's show.
Yeah,
like they could care less if it's like an NC whatever, like they're 5 or 10, like that's not that's
right. But I would imagine
them,
I would imagine that if I were a kid, I would be lost because of the stuff that they introduced in the first episode, let alone. But I guess not. So like it is working for kids, and I'm very happy about that because there's a whole new generation of Trekkies being grown up on the show, and I do think it is progressively getting better. Hopefully it continues because I would love to have another Star Trek show that I actually like and not just tolerate existing.
Sure.
Yeah. I watched Peacemaker. Watched all of Peacemaker, all 6 episodes of Peacemaker that are out. Believe the hype, guys. Everything that Ryan and Sparks have been saying, it's absolutely true. That show is incredible.
Yeah.
It is. I think I agree with with people when they say it's like the best thing James Gunn has ever written.
It's because it's the only thing he's ever had more than 2 hours to tell.
Yeah.
Like, he's always been a feature guy. So like him developing, like, it's the same quality.
He's always been good at character development. So being able to develop characters over a longer period of time, of course, he was going to excel at it. But I agree. Like, he's just nailing it.
Yeah.
He's really, really nailing it. And we badmouth a lot of Warner Brothers decisions a lot of the time because they make dumb ones. But kudos to them on just letting him absolutely take the reins and go crazy, even though this is set in the universe of the films. Good for them.
And there's like not even a production disconnect between like this and Suicide Squad. Like sometimes they'll flash back to the Suicide Squad. And I'm like, yep, that could have just been another episode. And it's like, and there's a lot of feature people who come to TV and they don't get the difference between television and features. But then there are others that do. And I'm so happy that James Gunn is in the camp of like, just like, this is my first ever TV show, and he just absolutely nailed it. Every episode is 46 minutes, 39 sometimes. So it feels like a classic TV that's serialized and it's pacing very well, and it's developing the story in a natural way with characters that are growing and are likable. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful show.
We'll definitely talk about it when we have our discussion about it. I think that Peacemaker is the shining example, and like I'm hoping the thing that's going to trigger the Disney Plus MCU shows to step up, because I can tell that the job of Peacemaker is to tell me a story. Whereas I feel a lot of the time that the MCU Disney Plus shows, their job has been to expand the MCU. And tell a story second. And Peacemaker is expanding the DC universe, but that's not the point.
It's not the point of it.
And it's not the goal. And it's clearly a lower priority.
Like this week specifically of watching the newest Boba Fett and then watching the newest Peacemaker, I'm like, it's not fair to compare them, but I'm just like, they're just operating at different levels. Like, truly, just like one is so focused on what's the next thing we're going to be making, whereas like, let's just focus on Peacemaker and his eagle. I'm like, it's so nice that like Peacemaker could have been something so much worse. And I'm like, wow, it's like, it's actually art. It's real art.
I am very excited to see what Gunn does with the next 2 Guardians projects.
For sure.
The way he's already talked about Guardians 3, it's like, it's already way more emotional and dark, and like, oh man, he's gonna like kill off those characters or something crazy. Like
growing, he's always been growing as a filmmaker. Like, I've always loved seeing him grow as a filmmaker ever since Guardians, but like the growth that he has exhibited from the Suicide Squad to Peacemaker makes me very excited to see him bring that growth, that talent to the holiday special, to Guardians Volume 3. Like, I'm very excited for his career going forward.
Same. We didn't talk about it in the news, but he did hint at the potential for a season 2 of Peacemaker and a spin-off show of another character from the Suicide Squad. And I'm all for it, baby. Like, I'm so glad that they're willing to just like let him go, let him just tell a story.
Everyone should have that mentality.
And like, I think there's an amount where this is very much like, not to get too much on it or anything, but and draw too many comparisons, but like at the MCU, it is Kevin Feige and all of them seeing like, knowing what they want to do in a large sense and saying like, who do we want to fill in this hole that we want, and who do we want to bring in and have them tackle this thing that we already know this is what they want them to tackle. James Gunn is like, I have a great idea for a show like this because I did Suicide Squad, and just letting him go, okay, cool, you have a story, go for it. That's
what classic Warner Brothers was before they got scared with Batman v Superman and a lot of the shift changes. Like Warner Brothers used to be the studio, Chris Nolan talks about it all the time, like used to be the studio that someone came to and like, I have this idea, and then they would fund that idea, and they would be very, very open to the creative process, and like they're still a studio, so they still got to go right by the bottom line, but they were very open with like helping shape what the director wanted and not necessarily stifling that that creativity. And then like Batman v Superman through a couple of years, I think just until like AT&T left, they definitely stopped doing that, and I'm hoping that we're seeing a shift back towards that for Warner Brothers, because I thought that was where they shined.
Absolutely. I hope that Peacemaker continues to find an audience and does get enough recognition to shift the trend that we're kind of living in right now, because I think this is the direction I want to see going. Is like I would much rather invest my time in watching stories that desperately want to tell me something.
Yeah. I don't know how true it is, but it is reported as like the #1 show in the world. Like it is the #1 watch, just a stream show in the world. And I'm like, I can't believe that a John Cena rated R superhero show is #1, but like it's that good. Like I believe it. That's so good.
Really like Vigilante.
Oh.
He's for real. Like that dude is like
so good.
If like James Gunn's if he kills Vigilante, I'm at to write him an angry letter.
We'll get into it in a special. Ben's eyes are glazing over. Let's move on to the next.
Oh no, I'm listening.
I watched Halo: The Fall of Reach, just the animated show. Well, it was an animated web show that they cut together into an animated film. That was fine. Animation sucks. And I think the voice acting is solid. The story is super slow. It is heavily based off the novel, The Fall of Reach. So it's about John 117, him from a kid, and talking about what the UNSC did to those kids and then growing them into these Spartans. All fine stuff. Don't think it was put into an interesting package. Steve Downes is in it. He does like there's a framing device that connects it to Halo 5. Which is that he's teaming up with his squad from before Reach fell. And that's where it's Steve Downes as Master Chief, and he's like, this guy was my brother and blah blah blah. And then like when it's flashback, it's never Steve Downes, so it's like never the voice of Master Chief, even when he gets the Mjolnir armor. And I was like, that's weird. And then like when we go back to when we flash forward, it's like, yeah, this guy was my brother, and I would do that for any of you, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I know that you're meant to be the same character, but could you have at least done it so that when he put on the helmet for the first time, the helmet just made his voice sound like Steve Downes? Like I would have bought that.
Darth Vader logic.
Yeah, I would have bought that. Like you didn't have to do this. So anyway, it's fine. I'm gonna watch the next two, Forward Unto Dawn and Nightfall. Never seen it before. And I watched 3 Dragon Ball movies.
Wow.
I saw Dragon Ball: The Path to Power.
Path to Power.
Excellent.
Right?
I really liked it.
It's a beautiful celebration of the beginning of Dragon Ball, because it was done as an anniversary celebration. The animation is gorgeous, and for condensing as much story as it does it very well.
Yeah, I agree. I thought that was very solid. The emotional gut punch of Ader completely works. It does. So like for those of you who don't know, I'm going through all the Dragon Ball movies, and so far the Dragon Ball films have not tackled the Red Ribbon Army. This one does. So it does the origin of Goku once again, but this time with the Red Ribbon Army. Ben's internet is spazzing out.
Yeah, I was about to say Ben's been frozen for like 2 minutes.
Hi Ben.
I'm back.
So yeah,
yeah, Ben was
just
audio listeners.
That's how he looked the whole time we were talking about Peacemaker.
No, I could tell when there was no movement anymore.
I know, I just wasn't looking at it.
So funny.
Anyway, loved Path to Power. I thought it was very good.
I think it's a refreshing breath of like non-canon fun.
Me too. And then I watched the first 2 Dragon Ball Z films, so Dead Zone and World's Strongest. And I thought both of those were absolutely fine. There's not a whole lot there, honestly. It's like bad guy steals Gohan or Piccolo or Master Roshi or Bulma, and Goku has to go be a strong guy.
Yeah, 1 through 3 are very similar plots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Garlic Jr. is a fun villain. I don't think the other guy is. Dr. Who's-a-What's-Its.
I think Garlic Jr. lives better in our memory because there's a season about him later that we know, and it's
That's
there,
true.
and we make him a bigger deal in Dead Zone. But I think like if just that movie existed, like Garlic Jr. would be just as forgettable as the others.
Big
Yeah.
garlic man.
I think the only thing special about it is the fact that Gohan blasts him into the Dead Zone. Like outside of that, it's
Yeah. I do think that it's fun to see Kami like get into some action. Like we don't really see that in Dragon Ball Z. And Dead Zone. And there's some good moments, like Master Roshi gets a cool action sequence in World's Strongest, but like ultimately they're fine.
Yeah.
Then they don't fit in continuity, which is funny.
Absolutely not.
Because Gohan is clearly trained with Piccolo by the time World's Strongest showed up, but like Piccolo and Goku are still not like buddies. But like at this point, like shouldn't they be on Namek?
Yeah,
it's wild.
You have to like, if you wanted to fit it in, you have to create a logic where like all three of those movies take place like in weird period. It doesn't work
within seconds of where they would be in the arcs. Anyway, there's a good bit in Dead Zone where like Chi-Chi is about ready to like fight to protect Gohan.
Yes, I remember that.
I thought that was fun because Chi-Chi like often gets forgotten as like she was a very strong martial artist. There's this line where like Roshi's like, they took out Chi-Chi. Like these guys are serious, and I'm like, oh yeah, like
this happens again in the Garlic Jr. saga later. Like the Garlic Jr. stuff, they take as an opportunity to be like, we can remind people that Chi-Chi can fight.
Yeah, she's not just the nagging wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. And then I finally watched Five Cream.
Yes.
Which is a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
Excellent Scream movie. I really liked it. I've liked it the more like I've gotten distance from it, like the more I'm thinking about it, like hell yeah, that movie rules. We'll talk more about it probably in the news when we get to the news section of this, but like yeah, Five Cream, excellent movie, great legacy sequel, great requel. Very happy with how that turned out. All right.
I'm not gonna ever use that term requel though.
I don't mind it, but it's a little weird.
Because you said it, and I was like, I don't like that.
I liked it a lot.
People keep, because you brought it up, people keep trying to like find terms, because they talked about this with Matrix Resurrections too. I heard this on a lot of podcasts where they keep trying to find the term for like what we're doing with movies, and I'm like, how is just revival not
It's a revival.
the go-to term?
It's a good word.
Like revival is just they're like legacy sequels. And I'm like, why are we making it so complicated? They're revivals. That's what they are.
It could mean both sequel and reboot.
Yeah.
It's a revival. You're bringing it back in some way.
Right.
That's a good, yeah.
Well, because like I think they get hung up because of the fact that we've now as a culture realized that the term reboot should have been attributed to what we're doing now, because it's restarting a franchise. And so like we use the term reboot culturally, it kind of means it still has the mean of like, oh, we're doing a whole new thing with this IP, unconnected to what has come before. And so now it's people getting tripped up. But I agree, revival, it's right there.
Hashtag revival, bring it back.
All right, shall we get into our bread and butter then?
Yes. Yep.
That was the bread and butter theme, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Only one way to find out in the rewind.
All right. So some sad news up top. Brian Augustine, who is a comic book writer and editor for DC Comics, edited and wrote The Flash, and most notably wrote Gotham by Gaslight with Mike Mignola. He passed away at the age of 67.
That's a shame. Gotham by Gaslight's real cool. It's a cool book.
Big bummer.
Yeah.
All right. Some comic book news other than that. Substack was in the news again. And I guess they've been publishing comics. Cool for them.
No, technically they're not publishing comics, but comics are coming out.
That's true, yes. Because in this news came that like James Tynion's thing, his book, it was so successful that they're going to do another volume of it. And I'm like, okay, sure.
No, yeah, there's tons of comics out. Just none of them have been read by us because we don't spend money.
Well, Substack has picked up some new comic book creators.
Oh yeah.
Grant Morrison, Tom King, Jen Bartel, Exa Charretier, Carrie Randolph, Joanne Starrer, Brian K. Vaughan, and Nico Henrichsen.
Yeah, those are all big names. Do you have any more besides that? News?
Well, there wasn't. I tried to find like what they were doing, but they didn't say.
Well, all of them have announced. A lot of them announced what the books are, and a lot of them are already out. Like Tom King's book is out.
Okay, well, I was looking in like articles about like the Substack announcement. I didn't see what they said. So what? Anything interesting that you would like?
Tom King and Elsa. I have her name is. So a lot of these people, every Substack has a different subscription model or subscription base. These new ones are very interesting, and they make me interested in subscribing because the Tom King one, it's like a love romance drama novel, like old school, like 50s pulp romance. His comic is free, so you can subscribe for free, and you'll get the comic for free. If you want to be a subscriber, you'll get all the behind the scenes stuff behind it. That's the model. That's how you do a Substack, in my opinion, and that's what a lot of people are going to follow. Instead of saying, "Hey, give me $10 a month, I'll give you a page every other week." Like, that's bullshit, in my opinion. That's why I don't want to do any other Substack. Tom King's one is like, no, the comic's half done already. Here's the first issue for free. If you want to see how we made it, give us $5. That's a great model. And that's what a lot of other people are doing. Not all of the other books have been announced, but that is like the new model a lot of these people are doing, which I think is a great way. Like I looked at that number one of Tom King's book. It sucks because you're just reading it on a PDF on your phone. Like that's like Marvel Unlimited has such a better method of, like panel searching and stuff like that. So does the DC Universe app, Comixology. So until they have their own app to read a comic in, I'm not super invested still because it's just reading it through your email.
It's like you captured the screenshots online, downloaded it into your email.
Yes, very much how if you read comics online, how that is. It's just a bunch of pages, which it's still a comic, I guess, but not what I want.
Right? There's still a learning curve here with the Substack thing with all these people.
Yeah. Like the subscription model that they had with like Tynan and Jonathan Hickman is working very well. But I think they do want to try other methods to try to get as many people as they can in. This like second wave of these creators is a big move of like, we're not stopping. Substack is not going anywhere. So I hope you like subscription models because every single creator on the planet is going to have one at some point. It's just how bad of an investment is it to you? Like, do you want to pay $10 up front, or is it free with paid bonuses, which is the way I like it?
Well, I think the interesting thing for me here is that the first wave were like most of them, not all of them, but like a lot of them were exclusive contracts. Like we were exclusively with Substack. This time and the time after that, but like so this is like the third wave, I think, where it's like we're just signed on, we're just doing Substack stuff. We got Substacks, we're not exclusive with them, and I think that's kind of like the thing with the kind of the hype has died down with Substack. Like yes, they're sticking around, but everyone kind of realized like we shouldn't be like exclusively doing this on Substack. We should be like we shouldn't be putting all of our eggs in one basket.
Yeah. They still like a lot of those the first wave ones, like they still saying that like we are publishing those books through, Image, Dark Horse, stuff like that. It's just still that's too far away at this point still. And I'm like, I'll be there next year when I could buy it on a shelf, my guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's still, individual. Each thing is an individual subscription.
Yeah, it's not
and I think that's the thing that kills it for me the most is that I'm like, I would happily, I think, spend $15 a month for everybody, every comic creator that goes to Substack to have access to all of their things, and they all get like dividends from that. I feel like more people would be willing to jump into a lump sum. Yes. This idea to me, this is really reductive, but like it's like if Disney Plus broke it down so like here, pay $2 a month
for Marvel.
and you get Marvel.
Yeah.
Pay $3 a month, you get all of Disney animation.
Yeah.
Pay $2 a month to
Star
get Pixar.
Wars.
Pay $2 a month to get Star Wars.
Yeah.
Something like that. Like that would pay another $2 a month for Disney live action. Pay another $2 a month for Disney Plus exclusives.
Yeah.
Like that is nightmarish to me.
The thing is, it's Substack is more. They're treating it more like Patreon than a even though it's a subscription service, it is more like Patreon.
Right.
It's just their model isn't as neat or as like enticing as a Patreon.
Yes.
But I mean, it builds up. It builds up because like if you're like I want to read Grant Morrison, Jeff Lemire, Tom King, Jonathan Hickman, like that's $30 a month that I'm spending on
if you're
just
a person who likes to read
Oh, yeah.
comics, which is the only reason you would be going and seeking this out to
Yeah.
begin with, of course you want to read most of these creators. You can't afford to read all of
Do
these creators.
you have the Jonathan Hickman, Stephen Wacker news in this?
no. What was that?
Okay, so Stephen Wacker was an editor at Marvel for 15 years. He left that position to go work at Jonathan Hickman's Substack.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, he was like the premier editor at Marvel, and Jonathan Hickman won him over. The thing he's doing over there, he's building himself a literal little empire at Substack. He has so many artists and so many talented people that he's taken from like Image and shit, and he's building his own like micro ecosystem of comic like publishing. It's really crazy. Jonathan Hickman is like, he's probably the person doing the most with it, but again, I don't want to spend $10 a month to get a page a week. That's
Right.
not my model.
That's just not a good model.
No.
I don't think even a little. Like I think about it, the Viz. I've talked about the Viz Media app. I pay $2 a year,
That's insane.
and I get a chapter a month.
Yeah.
Of whatever I want to read.
Yeah.
That's, come on. Like, you can't, when those kind of models are existing, like, you can't expect that out of people. And I think this is good for like comic creators on the back end. Like, this is providing a good economy, something away from the studio, from the system that's been crushing a lot of them.
Yeah.
I get that. I'm all for that. But it's bad for the consumer as it is right now, which means in time it's going to be bad for them too.
Yeah, that's why like
something's going to have to change.
Yeah, that's why like this wave of like yo, the book is free. You can read our book for free, and if you like it, give us $5 and you can see the scripts and the behind the scenes like paneling and stuff. I'm like, that's a good model. That's enticing.
That is. I mean, I just recently signed up for Marvel Unlimited. I did the yearly thing, and that's like half off of otherwise I would be paying monthly. And I have pretty much the entirety of Marvel at my fingertips now. That's like,
so
even
good.
when I was going through the app, I was reading the book club through it. I added Jason Aaron's Thor run to my read list.
My name is Jason Thor.
That'd be a cool name. I added Ultimate Spider-Man, but it's all there. It's like, I don't have to worry about anything else.
That's a good example. Is like it's a war of attrition because you have all that content right there with all these other things. Take this to those comic apps, take this to the streaming services.
Yeah.
That content is all there. And this is not equal to the dollar you spend.
Yeah.
It's not even equal to the dollar you spend a month getting things at the store.
No,
for a single title.
No, yeah, like Brandon, you said like you'd be spending way more than 30. Like if every creator is like $8 to $10 a month, and like every single big name creator is on there, then you're spending like $100. Like that's crazy, and you're not even getting comics every month. So I'm just
we just talked about it, but Tom King said his stuff is free. You just pay for the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah,
that's like the best. That's like the best model to me because
hopefully others will. Right, as Ryan said, hopefully others will pick it up.
I don't know if that's the solution, because like I feel like it sounds so meaningless in a sense, but like $1 a month. I'd do $1 a month for Hickman's stuff, even if I'm only getting a page. Like, I'll let it build up. Like, it's $1 a month. I can do a few creators I really like for $1 a month and be supportive. But I'm not necessarily going to be a person right now. Honestly, it's a good model. It's better, yes, to give me the free book. And if I want the extra stuff, I'm not going to spend $5 for the extra stuff. I'm being honest. I can't afford to. Yeah. It's just not a thing I can do. I'd rather just read the book. But I also want to be supportive. $1 I could do. I could do $1 a month. I could do 2.
How about $7 more on that though?
Nope, can't. Nope.
That's the thing, yeah, because
that's the equivalent of other bullshit that I get way more out of.
Yeah.
There was some other Substack news, which is that they've gone to the manga business. Substack has also launched Manga Splaining Extra, a podcast and newsletter centered on manga that regularly releases different stories from a rotating team of creators. So,
getting all over the market.
All right, there you go.
Do you know, are those creators Japanese creators, or are they pulling from American creators?
Okay, so interestingly, I'm glad you brought this up. They didn't specify.
Yeah, see, I'm really curious about that too, because I'm wondering if this is an American audience reacting to the manga boom and being like, wow, we need to get on that. And
I wonder too.
You can't all do manga. You got to know that. Like, there are American writers that can. It's not many.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Let's move on to that. Danny Warren Johnson and Juan Gedeon are teaming up to do Jurassic League, which will be the Justice League, but as anthropomorphic dinosaurs.
Why are people mad?
because they don't.
Right.
This is
Why do people not like
this is
buns?
a situation of like it's too stupid for them, and I'm like, well, then we're just not friends. Sorry, like we're not the same people.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, like just been like Animal Avengers, like so who cares? Like really, guys.
T-Rex Batman.
Like it's comic books. Like was really funny. Like guys, it's Batman is like a monkey man. Like whatever. Come on.
This is pure comic book stuff right here.
Superman
This
is
really
a Superman. Sorry, Ben. Real quickly, Superman is a brachiosaur
yeah.
who still came from the planet Krypton.
Keep it on
Love
the
it.
Love
Yes,
it. Wonder Woman Triceratops in this one.
Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wonder Woman.
that's freaking awesome. This is pure comic book goodness. This is like, yo, let's just go batshit crazy. It's like, okay, they're mad at Jurassic League, but they're happy with Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew. Really? No.
Probably not either though.
Hold on. I think if Captain Carrot and his amazing zoo crew hadn't existed up until now and was announced, I don't think it would go over quite as well as it having been existed for so long. To be fair. Second, this book sounds like a blast.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be any deeper than like, yo, what if Wonder Woman was a dinosaur? Like
I'm gonna get some of these toys.
This is every 5-year-old's dream. It's like, what if the Justice League but dinosaurs? That's so. I'm like, freaking. I'll read it.
I want to see the villains. That's what I'm waiting for.
What'd you say, Sparks?
I want the toys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys see the picture of Joker Velociraptor?
No.
I did.
Beautiful.
Is Darkseid a Tyrannosaurus Rex?
We only saw Joker and Batman,
We
and
don't
it's a
know.
Velociraptor and a T-Rex. Yeah, awesome. Can't wait. Bring it on.
I wonder if Darkseid's meteor.
It's only 6. It's only 6 issues.
Aw.
So good. No, good. Like give me that tight.
Yeah.
Give me that tight trade.
All right. Yeah. I'll probably, if I see this at a con, I'll definitely pick up the trade. This sounds fun.
Oh, that does look sick.
Right?
It's like
Yeah. It's like an all white Velociraptor. Love it. I'm so excited. This is like the thing that got me like crazy this week. All right. Everyone loves Marvel Synergy, right?
Depends.
Well, Secret Invasion is coming back.
No, Superman. No.
Superman.
Like Civil War 2.
No, I thought they were done. I thought they were over.
This Secret Invasion will be written by Ryan North with art by Francesco Mobili. And it's Maria Hill trying to prevent a new faction of Skrulls trying to take over the Earth.
So this is in preparation for the Secret Invasion TV show.
Oh yeah,
Synergy baby. This event is certainly not going to be a big, huge Marvel event. Absolutely no offense to Ryan North. He's not someone who does giant Marvel events. This is definitely one of those side, like The Last Annihilation is like a side event. This is definitely like a side event, which is
especially because there's an actual event, a line-wide event happening in the same month, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, accents. Yeah. Sure, cool. Yeah.
Well, all right. Christopher Cantwell and Ario and Nditi is doing Star Wars Obi-Wan. Going to be a 5-issue miniseries, which will chronicle the life of Obi-Wan Kenobi from his time as a Jedi initiate, all the way up to his time on Tatooine. Basically, it's like a 5-issue miniseries of the Journal of Obi-Wan. If you were reading that initial Aaron's Star Wars run,
so it's kind of like a life story essentially, where he starts
pretty much.
Yes, where he starts as a Padawan, and then it's ending with him. I'm for it. I like it.
I haven't picked up a Star Wars book in a long time, but like my friend Sparks here says, can't miss. So I'm gonna pick this up because that dude does excellent tragic character work, and that's all Obi-Wan is, baby. It's sad stuff.
I was literally about to say Christopher Cantwell can do well, so I will be getting this one for sure.
The artist is great too. Like a new up and comer guy. This is really cool. Like it's like a miniseries too, so I don't have to worry about too much. Like, tell me his secrets. Does he have a baby? Who knows? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he has a baby.
This is also Synergy because that show is coming soon.
Yeah, but
Okay,
this is synergy that like doesn't feel as bullshit.
Right.
Yeah. It's
I
the
think
Star
there's
Wars
always-
synergy.
Go ahead.
The Star Wars synergy is like, yeah, I like this because it's like you have the journal of Obi-Wan that's been established in previous Star Wars books. We know the show is coming out, so it's like, cool. I want to dive deep into Obi-Wan. I want to read more about this dude. Whereas Secret Vision is like, we had that already. We already had a secret agent thing, and now they're doing it again.
We've had lots of Obi-Wan comic books too, though. But like, so I see what he's saying. I just trust the writer and like the idea more than just we're doing the idea again.
Yeah,
it definitely feels like I didn't mean to like compare them on any other level than like there's an Obi-Wan show coming out, and so Marvel is probably looking to put out an Obi-Wan comic. But I do believe that like Christopher Cantwell came in with a pitch and was like, I want to do this, and then they're like, perfect timing.
For sure. And I think there are a lot of wonderful things that you can fill in about Obi-Wan's character that still aren't filled in. And it's not like I need those holes filled, but I'm saying I think there's interesting story to tell.
Yeah.
And it'll be great when we read that series. And sorry, Emma freaked out a little bit. When we read that comic series, and there'll be a bunch of new canon stuff added, and then we watch the show and it's all deleted.
Well, I didn't want to say that part.
But I'm just saying.
Yeah. I was saving that bit for when we talked about Boba Fett, but okay.
It's also entirely possible it doesn't really do anything to contradict the show or vice versa.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, probably not. Yeah.
But all right, the Savage Avengers are coming back. The Savage Avengers, written by David Paposi, Carlos Magno. Conan the Barbarian is returning from the last run. Elektra Daredevil, Anti-Venom, Black Knight, Cloak and Dagger, and Weapon H are joining the team for the Savage Avengers and are going to be fighting their way through the Hyborian Age with an evil Deathlock on their tail.
I love it. I think this team is excellent. This is my favorite thing. A bunch of like not obscure, but like B-list characters coming together. Black Knight. It's not Dane Whitman. It's Black Knight's daughter. She's the new Black Knight. She's been around for like a year or so. She's super cool. I love Daredevil, Elektra, Weapon H, Wolverine, Hulk man, whatever. He's whatever. I'm sure he's fun. But I will definitely pick up this number one. I love Conan. He's so funny.
It's funny to me that Conan is like a mainstay Avenger.
Right. Man, like it's super stupid too, because like you can't read any of it on Marvel Unlimited. None of it is on Marvel Unlimited, and neither are Savage Avengers, because I really wanted to catch up, and I'm like,
because the deal probably prevents it.
Yeah, I'm like, you own the comic. What's going on here? I'm like, sorry, sir, not digitally.
That's funny. The new Fantastic Four are coming back. Peter David and Alan Robinson are going to be bringing back the new Fantastic Four, which will be set shortly after the events of Fantastic Four 347, which introduced Wolverine, Spider-Man, Ghost Rider, and the Hulk as the new Fantastic Four.
Yes, that was real cool.
This is a cool idea. This is definitely for all the 55-year-old old people who love Peter David still, because it's not none of us young people.
Yeah, he was doing a Maestro book.
Yeah, which, again, character from the 80s and 90s that people love. Peter David is a man who wrote some real great comics back then and has some real gross political views that like a lot of young people don't like him very much. And I'm like, yeah, he had his time. He's
such is life.
Such is life. Keep writing that Maestro book, buddy. It's cool.
And then finally on the comic book side, Judgment Day. We finally got some official news on this new event. Kieran Gillen and Valerio Schiti? Schiti.
I learned that recently.
Will write and draw Judgment Day, which is going to be an event launching in July, which will see the Eternals go to take out the mutants, and then the Avengers are trying to kind of de-escalate the situation before it destroys the world.
The cops. Like Captain America's like, please, the immortal people, stop fighting. I can't handle it. I am so excited for this event. The last time something like this happened was Avengers versus X-Men and Humans versus X-Men, and both those events are not real good. But Kieran Gillen's behind this, and he's part of the Eternals and the X-Men team, so it's like his total control. I talked about it in my week, Brandon, when you were gone, but like I'm caught up on Eternals, and like the newest issue of Eternals is leading right up to the Judgment Day, where the Eternals are like, we have to go use the Celestial that the Avengers are hanging out in, but they won't give it to us. So I guess we're gonna kill them, which is really fun. So I can't wait to see the Avengers get their asses kicked.
There was a quote from one of the, I think from this book or from an upcoming Eternals book, where it said, we were here to fight the deviants, but we missed them with like the mutants. So like implying that the mutants are considered to the Eternals deviants.
Yes, yeah, the like Druig, the mine guy. He's like, yeah, we missed some of the deviants. They're called mutants. And everyone's like, oh, are they gonna retcon mutants? No. The Eternals are probably just gonna be assholes and like, you guys are offshoots and we need to destroy you.
Yeah.
I'm just really excited because like I love big events when they're done right. And Kieran Gillen gave a great quote of like, man, big events should be like big fun and like they shouldn't like. I don't have the exact quote, but the way he described him, like, I fully trust this event. Kieran Gillen is so good. I can't wait for him to come onto the X-Men books officially.
Yeah. All right. That's all the comic book news, so let's move on.
Woo!
Sony.
Oh, boy.
Sony Entertainment has bought Bungie for $3.6 billion. Real quickly, Bungie will remain an independent subsidiary of Sony Interactive, but will still be governed by CEO Pete Parsons.
This is an incredible story. Not just because it happened mere weeks after the last major buyout, but a lot of people were freaking out, and I understand why. But unless you read like one of the quotes you just read, Brandon, about them obtaining like independent stature, this is really awesome news for both parties. Do you have anything to say, Ben? Because like again, I listen to so many video game podcasts where like this has been ingrained into my brain. So like I won't talk as much as last week about the Activision stuff, but like this is actually pretty good news, and I want to hear your thoughts.
I would say the Activision stuff was a little bit more bigger.
It's 100% bigger. Ben.
Yeah, it was a lot bigger than PlayStation getting Bungie.
Actually, it's $67 billion bigger.
Yeah, it is $67 billion bigger. Besides, so I was listening to another video game podcast where they were talking about this. I kind of have to agree with one of the hosts of that show saying that this is starting to feel like what a lot of movie studios are doing is they're getting up a lot of big, like bigger corporations are swallowing up the little guys. So I do get that feeling is going in a certain direction, but at the same time, the fact that when Brandon said that Bungie will still remain independent, they'll just be governed by the head of Sony. So hopefully there won't be too much corporate litigating, like only make the things that make us money sort of thing. So hopefully that happens. But at the same time, it is good that that Sony and Bungie are doing this together. So, but I'm still like kind of, I don't really know how to feel about this. Like with Activision Blizzard being bought by Xbox, it's like, oh shit, that can lead to major change. Whereas with this one, Bungie's a much smaller studio. The only thing they've put out recently is just Destiny 2. And I mean, people are still playing that, and that's still making money. And there's really no plans, as far as I know, off the top of my head, to go forward with the Destiny franchise or a brand new one in general. But one thing that made me laugh my ass off were some of the headlines that people put out that were just so freaking hilarious. It's like, really? These people they just see a headline and they just run from there. They don't know what's going on.
I'm sorry, Ben, did you say that they're not going forward with the Destiny franchise?
No, as in they're not doing anything besides Destiny.
Oh, gotcha.
So I don't know if they're going to do another IP or they're just going to focus on Destiny for the time being.
They're working on a new IP. They've announced that earlier. Okay, so this is really good news. And I know people are scared because, again, this happened immediately after the Activision thing. $1 billion acquisitions don't happen in a span of days. This is not something that happened in response to Activision. A lot of people think that's the case. That's not how business works. You don't throw in billions of dollars days after something is announced. That's not how it works. This operation is 100% in benefit of both parties, and Bungie is staying independent. It is staying multi-platform. Nothing is changing in that fact. Bungie is the best live service operator in the business. They have Destiny 2, which is the best live service game out right now. After they left Activision Blizzard, which they got bought by and they went independent, they were able to do whatever they want. So when people heard that they were getting bought again, it was really confusing because this is a company that fought to become independent after getting bought out by the worst company possible. So when there's so many interviews of that with the president of both companies, Sony bought Bungie for their live service operations. They're going to help because Sony is mostly a first party, third person developer, like Uncharted, God of War. Those are the type of games that make Last of Us third person, epic single player games. Their multiplayer services are nowhere to be seen. So them buying Bungie, they are buying a platform of like, hey, you guys know how to make multiplayer games. We're going to use your services to upholster our games. The thing Sony does so brilliantly is they use their proprietary software between developers. So the horses that are in Ghost of Tsushima are like the same tech that's in The Last of Us, and vice versa. So lots of in Death Stranding, that tech was used in Horizon. So a lot of that stuff is going between developers. And now that Bungie, the best multiplayer developer in the world, is owned by this company, they're just using their services. All of their games are staying multi-platform. Destiny's not going anywhere. The independent or the new IP they're working on is going to be multi-platform. This is strictly a, hey, you guys are good at your job, we're good at mine, let's be business partners. This isn't an acquisition as more it is a partnership. $4 billion is a lot of money. That is a scary amount of money. But like, I know after the Activision thing, like this is not them owning Bungie. It's them like, hey, we're going to use you guys and we're going to help you. Vice versa.
This is essentially Sony letting them play with the toys that make their games pretty damn good. Well, really.
When I saw that number, I thought to myself, chump change. I see.
That's
because like comparatively speaking to the one that happened last week, it's wild.
It's like these are not real numbers at the end of the day. Like, you know, like we didn't talk about it, but a couple weeks ago, Take-Two bought Zynga for $11 billion. That's a mobile developer. We didn't talk about that. But like every week there's been $1 billion acquisition happening. And like at the end of the day, like $4 billion, what does that even mean? How much is that really compared to a $60 billion? It's all fake money, right? But like people got really scared. They're like, oh no, Destiny's going to be PlayStation exclusive. No, that's not the case. People read headlines and get scared, which I understand. This is a great situation for Bungie because like they're a great studio who can use always more help,
and a great situation for Sony.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yep. Speaking of headlines, the best headline I saw was from The Sun, which is an English tabloid essentially. They said that a bunch of people were selling their Xboxes because Sony bought the Halo maker, and every single person who shared that headline is like, yo, these people do not know what the hell they're talking about because Bungie hasn't made Halo in years. That's 343.
Yeah, the headline of Sony buys makers of Halo, that's just journalists not being good at their jobs.
Yeah.
Straight up. Just not being good at their jobs.
Most of the people who made Halo haven't been at the company in over a decade.
Exactly, yeah. Like 343 has been making Halo for 10 years. Like Bungie has not touched Halo in over a decade.
I have a question for you, Ryan.
Incorporating their guns, but not their guns, into Destiny as a celebration of Bungie's anniversary.
Synergy.
Yeah. You guys know about this?
That's cute.
No.
The Halo guns.
So to celebrate Bungie as a company's anniversary, they incorporated the Halo guns, but they're not the Halo guns.
Different names.
They can't be the Halo guns into Destiny as a celebration. So they're the same mechanics. They're just not the same guns.
Yeah. So do they call the Spartan laser the Athenian laser now? Or
sure. That's basically the idea.
Yeah, basically that's the idea.
Even better.
Ryan, I got a question for you. So you said that Bungie was independent from Activision. I remember after they were done with Halo, I think whatever the last one was, ODST or Reach, they were part of Microsoft first, weren't they? And then they split off from Microsoft?
So, okay, this is fascinating, real quick. So in 1999, Bungie was working on a third-person real-time strategy game called Halo that was exclusive to the Mac.
Right.
Then Microsoft came in and said, hey, we're launching the Xbox. We're going to buy you, give you all the money, and like to give you all the support. So Microsoft owned Bungie until after Halo 3 and ODST and Reach and all that stuff. Then they went independent. Then they got bought by Activision. And then it was years of misery. And then they were like, we have to leave. So after 5 years, they left their contract when they could.
Right.
Then this is why them getting bought was a real mystery to a lot of people. But it's not so much a buying out as a partnership.
Well, it's so interesting that like they fought for their independence under Microsoft and then they lost it.
That's why people were so worried about this. But like,
it's also worth noting that Bungie's always had a really good relationship with Sony, which is evidenced by the fact that Destiny always had Sony exclusives.
Yeah, they have exclusive Destiny
stuff. Think like how Marvel Avengers has the Spider-Man exclusive. Same thing was happening with Destiny on repeated moments where Sony would get something that the other versions wouldn't. Bungie clearly had something that they were favoring over with Sony, so they've had a good working relationship. So this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. And this is a the console war thing is no longer a thing. This is now like content war. And like them owning Bungie doesn't mean like they're going to destroy Destiny. That means they're just going to get the revenue of Destiny. Like that's what it is. Like they don't want to ruin something that's good. They just want to profit from it.
It's also good for Bungie to have a greater support system because I really like Destiny.
Yeah.
I do still want more IP from Bungie because Bungie still has made the best feeling shooter of all time, which is Halo, but also Destiny. Yeah. Destiny feels just as good at shooting. No shooter has compared in the modern day to Destiny.
Sure.
Yeah. Ben, do you mind putting up the comment down there.
Yeah.
We'll move on after that.
Yeah, so we have a I don't know how to say that. Shanak Kale. Yeah. So they
a new listener, I guess. New listener or watcher.
Yeah. Great. Hey guys, great podcast, especially the Marvel movie reviews. Thank you. Got ACL surgery tomorrow. That sucks. Hope you recover quickly. So gonna have a lot of downtime. Yes, you are. Really looking forward to future episodes. Why? Thank you. Greatly appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hope your surgery goes well and your recovery even quicker. Because I haven't had ACL surgery, but I know friends who have, and that sucks.
Welcome to the Fake Nerd family. Okay, Legends of Tomorrow, season 7.
And they say,
Oh my god.
Has cast Donald Faison as an unknown character. But allow me to read what the character description is.
Please.
And see if we can guess. The Legends first encountered this character at a different phase of his career whose golden years are in the rearview mirror. He is a good guy deep down. His ego is looking for a boost that only fame, fortune, and glory can provide. While he claims to have been recruited to work for a mysterious time organization, he wasn't offered much of a choice in the matter.
My friend Marty's in the chat right now going woot woot because Booster Gold is his favorite character, and it's almost guaranteed Donald Faison's coming in to play Booster Gold, and I could not be happier.
That's such good casting.
Brilliant.
I will watch that one episode 100%.
And then you'll have to watch the next season. Because they're not just introducing him for a single episode. He is coming to the ship for the next season. Almost guaranteed. I'm calling it. He's definitely coming in.
I kept wondering what took them so long to get Booster Gold onto the show.
That's this I've been saying, but like if this is it, if this is the moment, baby, I'm so happy. I think currently we are primed for the best moment for it to happen. I think the cast could use this injection. They've been doing great. But I think Donald Faison will add just another level to the show. I'm so pumped. Legends looking to be the best modern Arrowverse show at this point, guys. Honestly, like Superman and Lois is great. I'm not trying to knock it. Legends of Tomorrow has carved out its legacy. It is killing it.
I love it.
Donald Faison's like, I need to buy time for you guys to fix this Powerpuff Girls series. What can I do?
Oh yeah,
man, ditch that series. Be Booster Gold on Legends of Tomorrow, baby. That's where you belong.
As far as we know, Ben, yes, they are just rewriting the script for the pilot.
Okay, then.
Didn't one of the actors exit
completely? Bennett.
Yeah, no, it's dead. Yeah. I know they haven't said it's dead. It's dead.
Yeah. All right. Madam Web. If you recall, S.J. Clarkson and will direct a film from a script by Burke Sharpless and Matt Sazama. They are making a Madam Web film. It was announced that they're doing it. Dakota Johnson has been cast as the title character, and though they didn't specify, it is most likely we can extrapolate from the casting that is the second Madam Web, who is also the second Spider-Woman.
Julia Carpenter.
Talk about whiplash, going from something I'm like, I cannot wait, I'm practically vibrating for, to I could not care less.
Right.
I'm looking to see what these guys have written.
Well, okay, so I've got it.
It's impossible for me to care less about this.
I've got it. I've got it right. Ben, hold on. I've got it right. So S.J. Clarkson has not directed anything high profile. She's only directed a couple episodes of television here and there. She directed one episode of Succession.
Okay, that's great.
And Burke Sharpless and Matt Sazama have had a interesting career in the film industry, and I will read you their movies, which is not many. All right, so they did Dracula Untold, The Last Witch Hunter, Gods of Egypt, Power Rangers, Morbius, the upcoming Morbius film, and they created the Lost in Space for Netflix, the television series for Netflix.
Okay, that show's good. Okay.
I like Power Rangers, but that's just my nostalgia blinding me. Everything else I heard not good things about, but except for Morbius.
Wait, hold on. We're passing over. Someone wrote Gods of Egypt?
Yeah, I watched that movie relatively recently for Downright Annoyed, and that's something else. So I definitely don't care about Madam Web. I definitely don't care about the spunk or whatever it's called.
You know what I care about even less than Madam Web?
What?
A Madam Web that can't exist in the same universe as Spider-Man.
I just don't understand why it's like, why do you start from here? Like she's like a plot character. I guess if you're doing hold on, Ben, if you're doing the second if you're doing like Julia Carpenter, who was Spider-Woman, but they're already doing Spider-Woman with the other Spider-Woman. But why do you have what?
Right, this isn't the Olivia Wilde movie that's rumored to be Spider-Woman. So would she be? And like, if we're wrong, and she's not playing Julia Carpenter, why is she playing the original Madam Web? She's far too young.
The thing is, I love Dakota Johnson, and she is an unhinged human being. So like the fact that she put herself behind it is like, that's just enough to be like, okay, what is that script where you said yes to this? Because she's like a lady who like picks her projects, like 50 Shades of Grey aside, like those movies are fine or whatever.
Because of 50 Shades of Grey, she has the ability to pick her projects.
Yeah,
there's always a thing of one for us, one for them.
No, it's absolutely true.
We thought the same thing about Michelle Williams, and she completely phoned that performance in.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm just like, man, Madam Web.
Anything can be good, but I really, really doubt this one.
No, again, this is like even more than Craven. I'm like, this one doesn't make sense because like for people who don't read comics or don't know about Julia Carpenter, the only thing you know about Madam Web is she's an old lady in the Spider-Man cartoons. And she's like, I show up from the multiverse with spider people. And I'm like,
I think the only way this makes sense is if this exists in like the Garfield or Maguire universe.
Unless they're trying to like, this is their way of doing like live action Spider-Verse where she's like the connecting tissue. But that's weird too. That's really
they're thinking about they're now thinking about making another Spider-Verse film, but like independent of Marvel. And so they're using her as like the linchpin character to bring all of the characters from the different universes together.
Yeah, I'm trying to be positive, but like, no, I'm okay. I'm all right.
Bring on across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
Let's see if Morbius tanks at the box office and then go from there.
Yeah.
That probably won't stop him, if we're honest.
It'll definitely like slow some adrenaline.
Craven's filming, so it's not
Craven's filming, but
it's definitely not Craven.
Let's see Morbius drop, and then Craven drops, and then like everything that isn't Venom apparently doesn't work.
Well, let's wait and see.
All right. Yeah. All right. Looking forward to that. Star Trek. The long in development, ever since the 90s, in development Starfleet Academy series is finally moving forward at CBS Paramount Plus. So a 6th Star Trek show? I guess. This was announced because they were like, we're going to do more Star Trek shows when the current ones wrap. So like Picard is wrapping soon. So I guess they're looking at this being the replacement. Right. So real quickly, Gaia Viola, who is currently on the TV show Absentia, which I'd not heard of, but apparently stars Stana Katic. That's what she did after Castle. She is attached to the series, and it's not gotten a green light yet. So they're gonna workshop it, pitch it to Paramount Plus, and then they'll green light it. That's kind of where this is at right now.
Okay.
If this goes through, they're going to. This is the bit of the news that I kind of wanted to talk about the most. This is going to happen after the Section 31 show, which I completely thought they scrapped.
Nope, guess not.
They should have. Because I don't want to see that show. I don't care about what Section 31 does every episode.
That's like the secrets of the universe or whatever, right? The secret stuff, like.
Yeah, they're the X-Force of Starfleet.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. So they're like the Black Ops people that nobody's supposed to know about.
Ooh, rated R.
And that works for like the people coming in from the outside, and we're like learning about them slowly. But like on a whole show dedicated to that, I just can't see being interesting.
Set phasers to murder.
Vaporize. All right. And that's all I really want to talk about with that. And then finally, Scream is getting a 6th movie.
Is it really?
Yes.
Scream's getting a 6th movie.
Yeah. So
I told Sparks.
So Matt Bettinelli Alpin and Tyler Gillette, who directed 5 Cream and Ready or Not, will return to direct with a script by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busiek, who also wrote 5 Cream. So the whole team's come back and they're filming in the summer.
It's a double-edged sword because it's one of the situations like Halloween where you come back with such a good movie. You're like, ooh, maybe to stop here. Don't do another one. Maybe.
Yeah.
So I agree. My instinct is that was a great way to just go out. I would go back to my thing of like, I'm still totally down for Scream to continue with other people being inspired by Stab in other places and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
However, I will caveat that by saying that they talked about it while they were doing the rounds of 5 Cream, that they feel like there are still more stories to tell in Woodsboro. So I also really liked our new young cast.
Yeah.
I will happily watch them again. Really enjoyed them. And here's the one really critical thing for me at this point. Neve Campbell talked about being cool with returning should they decide to make more Scream films. However, if they decide they're going to kill Sydney, Neve Campbell will not return. She says that she cannot be killed at this point.
After 5, you can't.
You can't. Exactly.
Yeah.
And she feels the same. And she says if that's the idea, she won't be part of it.
I wouldn't want it either. Yeah, like
Neither would
5 was good.
Which is strongly how I feel as well. So that gives me at least a comfortable confidence that like that's the worst thing I can see you doing is dragging out Sydney if you even bring her at this point.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it'll serve the story to do so. But if you do, I can rest easy knowing we're not doing that. But at that same token, is there value in having Sydney in a really, really present role? You know Sydney cannot be killed.
Yeah.
So I really felt that 5 Cream was a good send-off to the legacy cast. Not to say any more than just that, because I really liked how, and they're not. It's not a spoiler. We know that Neve Campbell's in it. Like she says, like very very plainly, like let's finish this once and for all. No more of this crap.
Yeah.
And like so, I felt like that was kind of them being like, okay, this is the final say on the Scream franchise. And I was happy with that, and I felt like it worked. So I have no reason to think that this isn't going to work. Because like I really like the last one, so like I have no reason to think otherwise that I won't like this one. It is just kind of I do hand it a pause because I'm like I did really like where you ended it, and I don't really feel like we need to continue.
In defense,
I'm just thinking of Halloween Kills again. Yeah.
In defense of this decision, literally every time a Scream film has come up post Scream 3, people go, should we?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I have faith in this team after they did 5 Cream that if they feel like they want to tell a story, especially if it's a story that I can't imagine that they wouldn't, that we're following these new kids, these new cast members that we got, I am happy to continue following those characters for another outing. I will do so.
They would just,
if they have a story to tell, I'm here to hear it.
Same. It's just like after 5, like that movie's so meta. Like, what new thing are you going to do?
I mean,
and that's what I'm so interested in.
There's the elephant in the room that I think everybody's aware of, that everybody was talking about around 5 Cream being the potential, which is Stu.
Oh, bring Matthew Lillard back. But see, I don't know if I'd want that though for the next movie.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see. It's a tricky pickle with one.
Maybe Stab 8 is the clue. Maybe it was the plan all along. It was always it was always Stab 8. That was the one we should be looking towards.
Oh man.
Yeah, we'll see. I was impressed with 5 Cream, so I'm willing to give them the benefit.
I'm cautiously optimistic.
And again, like the main thing that needed to be said for me is that Neve Campbell strongly believes that Sydney cannot be killed and won't be part of that. And I'm like, that's pretty much one of the main things I needed, is that I feel like it's a disservice to the character at this point. So
yeah,
they've been through enough. Let them rest.
Yeah. Right. That's kind of my logic. Like, I think if Neve Campbell did return, I'd really want her only to return in a sense of like she's giving advice over the phone.
Yeah,
almost, rather than being a present active role. I think the only reason Sid showed up was very clear in this last one. It was a good reason. It made sense. And I think now we've told the end of that story. I understand her with a connection wanting to maybe still give advice, be on call, especially to our new lead from this last one. But that is the extent of it to me.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to trailers.
T-Talk? Well, dude, I swear, what if like the next Scream, it's like mob mentality is the real enemy. And it's just like everyone in town wears a Scream outfit and like, no, my God.
Okay, wait though. Hold on. I hate what you said about the mob mentality, but the idea of multiple ghost faces in Woodsboro, more than 2, is enticing. I do think that is an idea where like, what if now we're talking like, what if people who don't live in Woodsboro come to Woodsboro
There you go.
to do something? There was more than just those two on the forums.
It's like an entire college class.
Right, exactly. There's a group on the forums that have decided to take things to another level.
The cult of Screen.
Because they find out who the new girl is.
The Reddit girl.
And like there's a way, okay, I'm kind of here for it. A version where Woodsboro itself becomes the entire town becomes a nightmare situation of more than two killers.
I'm just imagining just like a town full of Screen people. It's like evil dies tonight. God, I can't. It's the trailer time.
All right, trailers. The Last Days of Ptolemy Gray.
I real quick, like what I'm picturing. Sorry, it's the Purge with Ghostface. That's what I'm seeing, and I'm kind of here for that.
Now I'm actually okay. All right.
Right? Okay, you're with me now.
Back around.
I'll have to wait and see. I don't know. I like where we ended. I don't know if I need another one.
I'm with you, Brandon. Yeah. What's the
right.
Last Days of Ptolemy Gray?
Yes.
Yeah. Is this based off anything? Do we know?
I don't believe so.
I don't know.
I believe this is an original work.
Sam Jackson, Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah, this looks charming and sad. An old man with dementia gets experimental treatment, and he remembers everything.
I really like that we're letting Sam Jackson finally play some. This is older than he is, but like older and up there roles. He doesn't need to keep pretending that he's 15 younger than he is.
Yeah. Like you're 70, you can
that.
be.
Yeah.
And it's cool because like he starts as like an old man, and then like he kind of reverts back. It's almost like a Benjamin Button thing where he's
also importantly like. Executive producer can mean a lot of things, but I think there is an amount of him like wanting to be able to tell an emotional story as an older gentleman. I think there are some things he's thinking about his own personal life that honestly he doesn't get cast in roles where he gets to express this side of himself.
He's mostly the yelling guy,
right? Yeah. I really like the intimate emotionality that's on display from him in this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's mostly yelling and saying a certain phrase.
Quite a few. All potatoes.
I thought I was really impressed with what I was seeing from him. In this one, because he it's not really he de-ages. It's just that like his dementia is crippling him to a point where he is having a hard time. He's like older than he even is in his mind, but then like he's cured for like 24 hours essentially, where he's got all of his memory back, and so he's able to like present himself as he would if he was, not suffering from a debilitating disease at that age. And
then it's crashing down.
Yeah, like the plot is that he's trying to find a treasure that his grandfather left. Before his uncle before his dementia returns.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, looks like he's trying, which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the way it's filmed. I think there's a nice color template to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
very warm.
I'm very into it. I'm happy to see Walton Goggins and Sam Jackson get to play off each other.
Wally Goggins.
Yeah. And Wally Goggins doesn't seem like a total sleazebag in this one.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Well, he's a mumbo jumbo doctor, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows? So real quick, Grayson's here. Hey, bud. Just popping in to say hi.
Talked about you earlier today.
Yeah, we were talking about you earlier today. All good things, I swear. Popping in to say hi. He's at work.
We thought he went too far.
Honestly, yeah. All right, Shining Girls. I'm not even
This
going to let
is
him.
the sequel to Shining, right?
Yep, definitely.
Apparently, this one is based off a book that I'm not familiar with. But it looks interesting.
Which one is this one? I know we just watched it.
This is Elizabeth Moss, and there's a guy, and he's basically changing reality and her perspective as she's encountering him.
Yes, this looks up my alley, but like the trailer doesn't tell you a lot.
It's a teaser more than anything, but I'm definitely teased.
Multiple reality stuff going on, and Elizabeth Moss is like always intense and dramatic in everything she does. So like this is probably going to be intense and dramatic.
This is like you remember the Invisible Man? What if he literally like messed up her reality?
Oh yeah,
the Invisible Multiple Man.
Yeah, I thought this looked really interesting. Also, Apple TV Plus. So they're really ramping it up.
Man, I gotta pop my cherry soon. My Apple TV Plus cherry. Don't give me.
And sure, sorry.
No, I'm still a virgin.
All right. After Yang, A24.
Woo!
Hey, so I was waiting when I was watching this trailer. I was waiting. It's like, where does the creepy stuff come in? Where's the horror stuff come in? Where's the stuff that's gonna make me hate life come in? Never came. So part of me is like, do I give in to that instinct of like A24 can make a wholesome movie where it's like nothing really goes bad. There's not. There's you don't get a creepy thing. I don't know. I don't know what to get in.
They've done it before. A24 doesn't just make horror movies.
Not every movie they make
A24
has like someone's head getting bludgeoned in.
Ben.
Most of them, yes, but not all.
Real quickly, A24 is a movie studio who is known for putting out a variety of movies, much like every other movie studio.
It's just they.
Sorry, the only A24 films I've seen are the ones where people die and you got crazy shit going on all the time.
It is true.
They have a proclivity to horror.
Yeah.
It is one of the dominating things they started creating.
Yeah,
for sure.
But there's still
the most
like Bicentennial Man, but sad.
There is still the A24 flavor of this film. There's something of the that they try to do, like these like dark dramas, these like really introspective dramas. This I kind of like make you question like the nature of man and things like that. And so like that's all. It's all A24. It's just wrapped in a different package.
Yeah, it's like soft genre. Like this movie's like. It's like science fiction, but like not hardcore.
In many ways, A24 is the spiritual successor to Fox Searchlight.
Yeah, there you go.
Where it takes on the
interesting
non-blockbuster strong films.
Yeah, so
the films you'll talk in film class about in a decade, friends.
Yeah, After Yang, it's about an android. It's like Bicentennial Man, but like hella artsy. And like, well, maybe this movie won't end with somebody getting their head bludgeoned in. Amazing.
Or wearing a dress of flowers, watching their boyfriend burn in a church alive in a bear costume.
I really like the concept of this. This is not their first time dabbling into this material. A24 is a studio that would be Ex Machina.
Hell yeah, Ex Machina.
But there's a exchange in there that is really sticking with me, which is the part where he says, "Can I be honest with you?" And she's like, "You can choose not to be." And I'm here for it. I'm here for this kind of exploration.
One of the quotes from like a reviewer is like, "Questions what it means to be human." And I'm like, that's my whole mantra, baby. So like, yeah, I'm gonna watch this movie. TV show? Movie. I'll watch you.
Okay, this isn't a trailer. It's more of a first look at the opening minutes of The Orville: New Horizons.
I got confused for a second because I'm like, am I just watching a TV show right now?
Me too.
So this is the first couple of minutes of what I assume to be the season 3 of The Orville. I assume to be the opening minutes. I want to talk about this because I thought this looked incredible.
Yeah, I love Star Trek 09.
They're definitely showing off their Hulu budget. Outside of Fox.
They are.
It was very well shot. I was under the assumption, because I haven't caught up on The Orville, that this was like their next generation. So it was like going to be in the future and it's like a new cast. And I was like really excited. They're like, no, it's just a continuation. I'm like, oh, that's cool still.
Yeah, I mean they were supposed to get a third season, but because they moved to Hulu, they decided to rebrand the show. So New Horizons. The opening intro is of the war between Isaac's people and the Federation equivalent. I forgot that. It's been so long since I've seen season 2. That takes place in like that war. That war already looked incredible on when they did in season 2, and this was just like, man, there were some camera shots where they were like flying between like the nacelles and then like zooming into like I loved it, man. I loved it.
Yeah,
so excited for this show.
I told Ryan while we were watching it that like I do feel probably at this moment in time, The Orville's my favorite thing that Seth MacFarlane has created. I really appreciate it. I've loved every episode I've watched. It's space genre television that I think we desperately need. And I'm so glad it exists. So I'm so glad it's back for more and that it gets to just be more of what it was already being before.
People who watch The Expanse are yelling at you right now.
That's fair. Because I haven't watched The Expanse, but I am aware of the hype to The Expanse. But I would even push back on like I'm aware of what The Expanse is doing, and I like that The Orville is something that
they're totally different shows.
It's the Star Trek. It's a Star Trek show, but a Star Trek show where the people feel like they can be real people in it, which isn't a total diss on Star Trek. It's just that I recognize these characters as feeling like real people who experience the full range of perspective emotions. As they engage.
Star Trek,
things.
they're very like muted.
They're ironically militaristic.
Yes.
Well, the idea of Star Trek is that they're archetypes, whereas this was pitched as like, like if Star Trek was like a working man's comedy initially, and now it has evolved from that, and I think very well so. I agree. I think this is the best thing McFarlane's done, at least my favorite.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you guys seen Ted 2?
No.
No, I actually haven't.
I have. I actually don't know if I have either.
I've seen the first one.
I've seen the first. It's fine. Yeah.
I really there is something we can glean from this, and that it is going to be more. There's going to be some introspection of what happened with that war. What we are seeing is actually a nightmare that one of the kids is having. That's the doctor's kids. So having that kind of, we're not dropping the fact that Isaac's people tried to exterminate all life in the universe. We are going to make that matter, and it's going to cause some dramatic attention with him still being on the ship. Really into that. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm glad. Good.
The Boys presents Diabolical. This is the animated The Boys spinoff.
I have no real thoughts.
Right?
I'm absolutely indifferent. Like, it looks like oh, it's The Boys animated. Like, oh.
What a weird way to make a trailer, though, because this is like the idea is that it's Star Wars Visions, but The Boys, right? It's different animation styles for different types of of stories. And then they chose this burger commercial to promote that with like nothing to say like what the context of the episodes are, what the voice actors are until the very end, where they kind of just list them all. And it's a very weird way to promote that show.
Like it doesn't tell you, like what the show is. Like if you didn't know any better, you're just like, oh, it's just like a weekly. It's The Boys but animated.
Yeah,
like you wouldn't know any better.
I think maybe the biggest part to its detriment is that I think it misjudges the audience that watches The Boys. Just the vibe of this promotional material. I can't say anything about the show that's coming, but this promotional material feels like maybe a misstep of what it thinks people value about The Boys.
Because like I don't like. Yes, the Boys is violent, but I don't like it just because it's violent.
Right.
Like the thing that's the people that are doing it and the people that it's happening to and stuff like that.
This is like the maturity like cranked up because it can be.
Like just seeing a laser baby shoot someone's arm off, like that doesn't just sell me. Like you have to be in the scene, like with the characters, and like just seeing that it's not as exciting as like
yeah. A lot of it is that type of humor. Like there's a bit towards the end where one of the cooks is jacking off into a pan, and it's like that's not. I get that that's The Boys, but like that's not all The Boys is, and like that's why
that there's context to why that would work in The Boys, and when it's here, it feels like it's playing to an audience that maybe isn't most of the audience that watches The Boys, and I think maybe is a misjudged take on what it thinks that audience.
It's just definitely like, well, yes, The Boys is immature, but like it's that way on like purpose. Like it's showing you how flawed these people are. Where this is just like, wow, look at this crazy world. And I'm like, I don't watch it just because it's
you guys want less thoughtful South Park set in The Boys?
For real, like, do you just want like less thoughtful violence? And I'm like, no. Like that's why I like the violence, because there's thought behind it. Like it's not senseless.
Yeah. All right. The Offer.
This is the about making of The Godfather.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for this. Yeah. I just love behind the scenes making of like real stuff. And like The Godfather had a really crazy production behind it. And like they're obviously going to dramatize some of it for film, but like the fact that this is based in a true story is really cool, and I definitely want to watch it.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of I really like it when they do this, like Mank, the artist. Mank is more equitable because there's a real story. But like I like that behind the scenes Hollywood story.
Argo,
I love Argo.
I think
Argo, F yourself.
I think you have to walk a fine line, because it's very easy to get like self-gratificational about the film industry. When you do it.
This one,
especially when you're tackling like a high-profile film.
No, yeah, this one definitely seems like it's like it's not that.
It's like framing it as a gangster show, but about making The Godfather, which is a gangster movie.
Yeah. I that was more just a criticism of like how these things can go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not this one in particular.
That's really all I have to say on that one. So let's move on to the last one, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah, I'm conflicted, because I think this trailer looks pretty good, but there's like one section where I'm like, why are they doing this? It's because I saw Halloween.
Is it the final girl coming back, but it's not the actress because she's dead?
Yeah, I honestly like this trailer. Besides,
that's even more of the reason not to do it.
Yeah.
But like, even putting that aside, like, no offense to the deceased actor, but they are not the icon that Laurie Strode was as a character, and they're not the actor that Jamie Lee Curtis is.
Yeah.
And so like neither of these things make sense. The relationship dynamic between Leatherface and that girl whose character's name I don't remember, and Laurie Strode and Michael Myers are not the same thing.
Yeah.
And trying to artificially create that off of the success of Halloween feels just like such a misstep, such a really truly oops, you fucked up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be so mad about it if she literally said, I've been waiting for him my whole life. Like, they are doing the Laurie Strode Halloween thing.
Mhm.
If it's a situation of where like she survived and he came back and she just lived in the town and she wasn't like preparing her life for it like Laurie Strode, I wouldn't feel as bad about it. But
Why would you be in that town?
Yes, that's another question. Like, but they're just doing Halloween. And that bums me out because otherwise, I think it's shot really well. Like, I think some of the kills look really fun. Like Leatherface being on a party bus is something I never thought I'd see. But like, I want to see a dude chainsaw a dude up there. Like,
There's some good stuff. Like I do really like the bit where he like walks out of the like he looks up out of the cornfield.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned the bus sequence. I think that's also funny. In a morbid way. I mean, I've never seen any of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, so I don't really know how I feel about this.
So, yeah, I think it's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. When you haven't seen it, this isn't a knock. When you haven't seen it, it's very easy to assume that it's very much like the same way that people tend to talk about Saw and everything that Saw spawned.
It's hella,
like it's a gore porn show.
It's hella artsy
without any. But there's a meaning behind it. There's a meaning behind the reason that the family is cannibalistic for the political commentary of the time, and most Texas Chainsaw Massacre films that have come post 2 have not done a very good job because they don't have anything to say. Mm-hmm. And when they don't have anything to say, they are practically Friday the 13th in a different outfit.
Yep.
And this doesn't look like that's going to be any different from me. If anything, it probably has hinted to me that it's going to be worse because it's going to be that, but also stuffing in this final girl story that is just ripped out of the pages of Halloween, which it has no basis in telling whatsoever. Because if you watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that girl's not Laurie Strode. That girl is not a girl who plans and preps her life to get back at Leatherface. That girl is a girl who gets traumatized, spends the rest of her life in therapy, and is far, far away from that town forever.
Yeah, why would you live there? What's going on?
Those two things don't connect. So
also, like the town looks abandoned also.
I don't have a lot of reason to have interest in this because I don't have any inkling of faith that there's a reason to tell this story.
Yeah.
Which Texas Chainsaw Massacre for me only really works when you are telling it for a reason. I do need a reason for those things. I also understand having to change Leatherface's look. I said this to Ryan because he's literally wearing a person's face, so the face can't look the way it did in the original. It has to be a new face that he's taken. I get it. I don't like the look. I don't think it serves Leatherface as well as the original iconic look. I'm not saying that it should look exactly the same, but I don't like this look. It's not working for me.
Right.
If you're someone in the audience and you haven't seen the Jessica Biel 2003 reboot, very good reboot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre. If you want to watch a modern one, Brandon, it's real good.
That's also true.
I was about to bring that up. The Sally, like that character, that actress, they are in that as that character. I looked it up as I was curious about the last time that girl was in the movie, and it was Texas Chainsaw as that character.
There you go.
So,
well, this is Netflix.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I will probably watch this because it's got the girl from Motherland too, so I like her. The only thing I didn't like really was the Laurie Strode thing. Otherwise it looks like a decent horror movie. I'm not connected to it in a certain way, the franchise, because like there are more bad ones than good ones. So like I'm just hoping for a decent slasher movie because like I can't expect anything more than that.
All right, shall we get into our main topic then?
I believe we should.
I am just pulling up this because there was no way of doing this smoothly. Here we go.
What's our topic for this week, Brandon?
Our topic is we're going to look at all the cool stuff that happened, that is going to happen.
Yep.
There I am. that is going to happen in where is this thing? What the hell?
2022. The future. Nope.
Hold on.
Technology, y'all. How does it work?
I'm trying to figure out why isn't this working?
Share screen. Siri.
I
say
got it shared screened.
Say yes to the dress.
Let's see if refreshing it will bring it up. There we go.
There we go.
It's coming up. Boy, this is gonna sound great in the audio. Just us being like, "Come on, man! Come on! Come on!"
That's why you gotta watch the video all the time. Hey guys, we're gonna talk about all the movies and TV shows and games. Not all of them, but all the ones we're excited about coming out this year.
Or dreading.
Obviously,
dreading.
No,
I'm kidding.
Obviously, January has already happened, so we're not going to be talking about those films. Let me just make sure. Is this up? There it is. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to be on this tab, so don't, just wave it. Call me if you need me.
Who knew?
All right. So in February, we obviously already saw Jackass Forever and Moonfall.
We all saw those.
Yep.
Next week, we'll see Death on the Nile and the much anticipated Marry Me.
I'm way more excited about Marry Me than I am Death on the Nile.
Actually, yeah, Marry Me does look a little.
I found that we didn't talk about it on the podcast, but I generally don't care about those types of romantic comedies. But there's just something about Marry Me that's like, man, I want Owen Wilson to sweep me off my feet.
I think there's something interesting about the combination of Jennifer Lopez and Owen Wilson.
Yeah, they got charm.
Yeah,
but not enough champagne to fill the Nile.
I am still looking forward to Death on the Nile, but I don't know when I'm going to see it.
Oh boy.
Dog and Uncharted the week after that.
What the hell is Dog?
Dog is
that's the Channing Tatum.
Have to take the dog.
Oh yeah,
lost its
one of those movies. No, yeah, I got you.
Hey, to the credit of that film, that dog is a real dog the whole film.
No,
and not a CGI.
That doesn't.
Dog.
That doesn't not make it an emotional manipulation movie.
Oh, for sure. But cool that they had a real dog.
I'm glad. Sorry, Harrison. Uncharted, y'all, boy, how bad of a flop is this movie gonna be? That's the question, because it's not gonna do well.
I don't know, man. I'm not saying I'm not saying opening weekend. I can say that for sure.
I'm not seeing it, but
I can't say that I'm not gonna see it because I'm sure I'll probably eventually watch it, but I don't know when.
I bet
not in theaters.
I bet it makes about as much money as Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, but that had a much smaller budget.
I bet it makes more than that just because Tom Holland. But I don't think it makes more than 20 million opening weekend. I think it's gonna.
I'll probably stay at home and just play Uncharted instead.
Yeah, man, have you?
No, I've never played on the Uncharted games. I actually got them all for free on PlayStation Plus. I have all the games digitally ready to go.
Zero anticipation. Yes.
All right. The Devil's Light and Studio 66. I don't know what the Devil's Light is, but Studio 666.
We don't need to go by ones that we don't know what they are.
Studio 666. That's the Dave Grohl one.
Fighters. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. In March, we have See the Batman.
Oh yeah.
Zero anticipation.
Man.
No anticipation whatsoever.
I don't know what else is coming out this year, but the Batman might be it.
Yeah.
It might be
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh shit.
Aquaman 2.
I think the Batman still beats those, I think.
Avatar 2.
Yes! Give me the Navi!
Okay.
Yeah, man, Batman looks real good. I cannot wait. Downton Abbey, a new era, Brandon.
Hold on, Turning Red.
Oh.
I'm still mad that that's Disney Plus is not in theaters.
Me too.
Right.
I mean, I'm definitely anticipating Turning Red. I'm just pissed off.
Yeah.
That makes me mad just thinking about that. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as Ryan has been trying to get me to say, yes, Downton Abbey, a new era, I am very excited for a new Downton Abbey movie. I love Downton Abbey. I'm going to check out his new show. He's got a new show ced The Gilded Age. Excited.
I heard good things about it.
I can't wait until Dame Maggie Smith comes out of a portal into this one.
Oh.
The Lost City. I do kind of want to see The Lost City at this moment.
I do too.
We'll see if my mind changes.
I'll tell you what. One of my coworkers, the person that I saw the Hitman's bodyguard's wife with 3 years ago, she saw The Lost City, and she said it was pretty good.
Awesome.
So that makes me more excited to see it.
All right.
I can use some more Channing Tatum in my life.
I'm happy for that. I'm happy for Sandra Bullock too.
Yeah.
April 1st, we'll see Morbius.
Zero anticipation.
I'm excited.
I do mean that sincerely.
I'm excited for it.
And I'll probably go see it, but the one I'm excited for is the week after.
Which one?
Chip and
Sonic.
Dale Rescue Rangers.
What?
Yeah, totally. Sonic the Hedgehog. Of course, it's Sonic.
Yeah, Ambulance also I'm excited for. I just want to say that.
Yeah, that's the Michael Bay movie. It looks awesome. Is
That
Chicken
actually
Little the
does
new
look
like
pretty good.
animated movie?
It's a live action movie where they're doing like the CGI thing. It's on Disney Plus, and it's Andy Samberg and John Mulaney as the Chip and Dale.
That's coming out in 2 months?
Yeah.
Where's the trailer?
Disney Plus, baby.
Whatever.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yes, I'm hype as hell.
I'm so beyond excited for that movie. It's stupid.
Fun fact.
More
this
than the
year-
Batman?
Maybe. No.
Yeah. But anyways, fun fact. This year is also the 30th anniversary of the release of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, the game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow.
Age.
Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is definitely something where I'm more hyped than I was for the original. And I'm happy to be there.
100%.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I was like, after the redesign and the new trailer for Sonic the Hedgehog, the first movie was like, I was still cautiously optimistic. Now I'm like, just give it all. I'm ready for it. I cannot wait to see this movie.
Speaking of redesigns, people are speculating that the second big redesign that will happen will be Cortana because of the amount of people who have yelled at how bad she looks.
Maybe.
I mean, it's not that hard to redesign. You just
Color her blue.
Take her and color her blue in every scene.
But like, there's been like nobody positive, so I fully expect the next trailer. She's like, wow, she looks different.
And he'll be like, yeah, it was unfinished. Yeah, sure.
Sure.
All right, the bad guys, the Northmen.
Real quick, sorry, he brought up the Halo trailer. Did you catch that they pulled out a section of the fight where he's fighting the two elites, and in the back there's a Chevy Toyota just sitting in the back, like unintentionally, just clearly just parked there.
Hell yeah!
Like,
God, I love movies. I love movie making. It's so fun.
All right, the bad guys, the Northmen, and the unbearable weight of massive talent. We're skipping Fantastic Beasts.
Which is the bad guys? We haven't seen that trailer.
That's the animated one.
Oh, that's the.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that one now. That's the one with the. Yeah.
Looks better than their recent slate, in my opinion. So yes,
I'm all about the Northman.
Yeah, man. Robert Eggers, Northman. Unbearable weight of massive talent. That's the Nick Cage is playing himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Peter Pascal.
Also excited for that. Very excited for the Northman. That's one of my highest anticipated films.
Vikings, baby. Yeah, that's a good one.
I do want to bring this one up because I did a list of some sci-fi movies to look forward to this year. This is on that list. So 65 with Adam Driver. Mm-hmm. It's basically what's happening is that Adam Driver crash lands on the moon and then he's alone and it's like complete darkness because he's on the dark side of the moon.
Ooh.
And then he kind of like starts seeing maybe something. Maybe it's not the moon. Maybe it's a different planet. It looks. I'm very curious about it. It looks kind of like a fun psychological, dark sci-fi film.
I'm into that.
All right.
Now, May, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness.
I mean, of course.
I got sadder the longer that sentence went on.
I'm so excited for that movie, but like all of these rumors.
But Sam Raimi.
No, yeah, you're right. No, I'm not worried about him making a good Doctor Strange movie.
I know what you're worried about. I'm just saying, but it's still we get to go see a Sam Raimi Doctor Strange.
Honestly,
movie. Still there.
I get to see a new Sam Raimi movie, so that is alone hype enough. So yes, it's a good point.
Yeah, I would agree with that one. The more rumors that come out about what this film is doing, what the reshoots are including, I'm losing my hype. I was very hyped coming out of the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer that dropped with that. And I'm just, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm interested in this one anymore.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot of rumors that we've seen or not seen. The one that I do think is true that I will lose my mind over is Tom Cruise's Iron Man.
Oh my God.
Because that is a guy who shows up in movies all the time doing cameos for fun. If that happens, I will lose my shit because he would have been a really great Tony Stark. He was going to be Tony Stark.
I agree. But if that's where the buck stopped,
yeah.
I'm not interested in like James McAvoy and Sophie Turner walking into a scene for a minute and bailing. I'm not interested in that. That's not what made Spider-Man No Way Home work. And I'm worried that they're taking what didn't work about Spider-Man No Way Home, that lesson of we just need to shove in cameos of the whole rumor that dropped where it was just this is a celebration of Marvel of Marvel throughout the years that we've done Marvel. And so oh great. So we're seeing Blade and Ben Affleck's Daredevil and what is happening with this movie? I don't want to see all these characters. Not all these movies were interesting or good and nobody really gives a shit.
So, yeah, the thing that brings me back to zenness is these were a lot of the same things we were saying before we saw Spider-Man. So I want to think that like they're able to pull it off because they did pull off Spider-Man No Way Home. So there's a part of me that's like, you know what, it can work. I've seen it work, but man, that's too many people.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different though because like
it is different. Yeah.
Like Grayson has a thing where he's like Tobey Maguire for a brief scene. Like I don't want Tobey Maguire for a brief scene. I didn't want Tobey Maguire in a brief scene of Spider-Man. What worked is that he had a character arc. He had a character. Like you were putting in all these people. He's not in it, I'm sure. Ben Affleck as Daredevil, like, is not getting a character arc in a Doctor Strange movie. But like,
I would kill if he showed up. I would die. Oh my God.
But that's not like where I'm sitting, where I'm just like, you're throwing all these people. You don't have the time. You don't have the resources. You just don't have the space to do anything meaningful other than, hey, remember the thing?
Yeah.
Plus Doctor Strange and Wanda are having their own story go on that they have to deal with. And Mordo's in this, and this is too much.
And there's multiple Doctor Stranges.
Hot dog. Well, man, we'll see. I believe Sam. I believe in you.
Yeah,
I want to.
Hold up, Mag is saying that about Doctor Strange. He's interested in with all the rumors and the fallout because of the story.
Spider-Man, yeah.
But then go back to our Peacemaker thing. I'm not interested in what these Marvel movies could do for the future. I'm interested in watching a Marvel movie that's just a movie.
True. It's true.
Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he means fallout from
Spider-Man, right?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Into this, but I get you.
Fair. All right. Sorry, I'm done.
No,
League of Super Pets.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Honestly, I don't care.
Not for me.
Does anybody care about Legally Blonde 3?
Yes, Legally Blonde 3. I am 100% about that.
Yeah.
It got delayed from last year, so it's a real movie that got made. Let's see if it comes out the same day as DC Super Pets.
Which one's budging?
Different markets, it's fine.
The Bob's Burgers movie and Top Gun Maverick the same day. Wow.
I thought Top Gun got moved again. Oh, that's
Mission Impossible did.
Yep. I'm excited for both these. I love Bob's Burgers.
I'm more excited for Top Gun. I grew up with the first movie. I love the first movie. That first movie made me want to be a fighter pilot. And I mean, Bob's Burgers is cool. I just haven't really seen it. So
it's very good.
But for those of you who are excited for it, I'm happy for you.
I need to watch Top Gun.
It's good. It's good.
I need to show Fanny Top Gun. Fanny's never seen Top Gun.
Jurassic World Dominion.
I am really curious.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say excited, but I'm very, very curious.
I'll see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see it. Like, I have no reason to not look. Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum are gonna get me in the theater no matter what. Anyway,
right.
So you have my curiosity. I'm very curious how they're going to handle the concept. I think. Look, if nothing else, I think that it was bold to make it so that the dinosaurs are everywhere. I'm curious to see how they're going to handle that. I'm curious to know what that story is going to be. I do think it's refreshing and different. I'm all for that. Let's see what they do. I was not about the previous entry.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that this one will be bad. I don't know. We'll see.
The previous entry didn't make me upset like the previous Wizarding World one made me upset. So this one,
yeah. I have a generating theory that the Jurassic World sequel series is the inverse of the Star Wars sequel series. So because Dominion was its worst and Last Jedi I feel was the best of the sequel series. So this could potentially be the best instead of the worst.
Where's Colin Trevorrow? I'm gonna say no.
But I still like Jurassic World, and he did that. So safety not guaranteed.
Yeah,
I like that movie
I'm
too.
the least like of that movie up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skywalker at least seemed interesting.
I want to bring up Lightyear, but real quickly, I found an interesting story about Oh Hell No with Jack Black. Ice Cube dropped out of the movie because he refused to get vaccinated.
Oh,
not the Cube.
Not the Cube.
Hell no.
Damn it.
Really? Ice Cube dropped out of the movie because he refused to get vaccinated?
That's what he just said.
That doesn't. That's weird.
But Lightyear, we're all really excited for Lightyear. We've talked about it.
Yeah. Lightyear. Oh God, Lightyear looks
not going straight to Disney Plus.
I can't imagine it. We know that movie has IMAX film level, so like I'm pumped as hell. I think Lightyear might be my most anticipated of the year.
It's up there for me. The Black Phone, probably the end of this month.
Oh, this looks awesome. The Black Phone.
Oh yeah, the Black Phone does. Yeah. Oh, that does look a really good.
Ethan Hawke plays like a serial killer with a crazy mask. he kidnaps someone, and then the person inside the cell gets phone calls from the previous dead victims as ghosts. That is like the coolest idea. Yeah. So after Scott Derrickson dropped Doctor Strange 2, he was like, "Man, that sucks. I should go make a cool low budget
want to
horror
make a
movie."
scary movie.
Yeah. So he got to make the movie he wanted.
I got one more thing about Doctor Strange. I'm sorry you brought it up. When Scott Derrickson left, I had a sneaking suspicion they weren't going to go forward with that horror angle anymore. But with Sam Raimi attached, I was like, okay, maybe. But then the description for the movie, like the synopsis came out, it's like this action adventure. I'm like, oh, you did it. You backed away from the horror.
It'll like the trailer. It's like gave away like it has some spooky elements, but yeah, like the horror movie I think we were gonna get, we're not getting that, unfortunately.
No.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
I'd say there's not horror elements in it, but yeah.
Anyway, moving on to July. Minions: Rise of Gru. No, I'm kidding. Thor: Love and Thunder.
What?
Yeah.
So pumped.
Thor's coming out in July. Is that
In
real?
July.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Apparently it's coming out in July.
You gotta stay alive. Oh my god.
Right.
It's crazy. What a year.
I'm very excited for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Who
I
is
was
it?
at the comic store the other day. Yesterday. I don't know how time works. And this dad walked in with his 3 sons, and he was like, he I feel like he did this on purpose. He walked in and immediately said, "Sorry, boys, I threw away all my comics when I was young. You gotta buy your own." And I'm like, that's a weird thing to say. You just walk into a store with your 7-year-old child or whatever. He's looking at the comics. He's like, "Wow, Thor's a lady, huh? Crazy world we live in." And I'm like, oh my god, this dad is killing me. He's like clearly not been in a comic store in like 15 years. He was like, "Wow, a lady Thor? It's crazy." I'm like, "Oh, honey, you got a movie coming out soon."
I'm so excited. This one is like top rated for me. I'm so stoked.
This has not only Christian Bale in it. It has Christian Bale as Gore, one of the coolest new like modern villains in Marvel history.
So cool.
Big wins all around.
We're getting Natalie Portman, and she's gonna be Lady Thor in this one.
And the Guardians.
And the Guardians.
And he's Gore is in prosthetic makeup.
Oh god. I can't
Oh,
believe
so
it.
good. So excited.
And just the fact that it's directed by Taika Waititi again after coming off of Ragnarok, I'm like, I have all the faith in this movie that this is just gonna blow my mind.
Nope.
Yes, I'm
I see what you
really
did there.
anticipating that trailer.
Yeah,
Me too.
whatever.
It sort of feels
Yeah.
Well, look, I gotta show you guys what Grace just said. I'm ready for Natalie Thorman, new waifu.
Oh, dude, yeah.
right.
Yeah, July. I'm sure we'll get a trailer soon for that movie, right?
Yeah,
Should.
We'll probably be getting trailers for it. Probably not in front of Batman. Maybe in front of Batman.
Oh, maybe that's a Super Bowl thing. Didn't we get Super Bowl stuff before?
Oh, it is a Super Bowl. It is a Super Bowl thing. Yes.
Yeah, it's on
we'll
the
be
money.
getting trailers for it next weekend.
Nope.
Also, supposedly Andor is getting a trailer for the Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a show that exists.
Yeah. Black Adam who ran out the month.
I'm pumped for Black Adam.
I am too.
So
I'm looking forward to it.
we'll
Not as much
we'll
as Thor,
very much
but-
anticipate that. All about that Justice Society, baby.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to Thor more a little bit, but I'm
Oh,
excited for
sure.
Black Adam.
Well, sure. It's established. It's cool.
Yeah, but
Real quick, isn't it crazy? Because we talked about it before that like Black Adam was one of the first people cast in the DC universe, and now he's just getting his movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Funny,
It's wild.
funny time.
So this month there's not a whole lot, but I do want to bring up Secret Headquarters with Owen Wilson and Michael Pena. I had the synopsis ready to go, but it's gone now. I don't know what happened. But it did look interesting, so you guys should check it out if you can.
I need to point out that there's a movie coming out called The Man from Toronto, starring Jason Statham and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What?
weird, wild. Samaritan is also a movie that Sylvester Stallone is doing. It's like what was that movie that Joe Manganiello did that we talked about? Where he's a superhero, but not really. It's like that. It's like he's like an old superhero who lost his powers and.
Interesting.
I got Secret Headquarters. Young Charlie Kincaid, who discovers a secret headquarters under his home that seems to belong to a superhero. He shares it with his friends and then starts to believe that his estranged father might have a secret double life.
There you go.
oh,
Secret Headquarters.
All right, but we'll move on to September.
You remember
Salem's
Salem's
Lot
Lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's the a movie? TV
Yeah.
show?
Yeah, movie.
movie. There's all movies.
Oh, because there's the other lot that's a TV show that we talked about, a trailer.
Jerusalem's Lot, which is
Jerusalem's Lot.
Hmm.
Yeah.
the Adrian Brody show.
Crackle or some shit.
Yeah.
So they're making another Salem's Lot with Alfred Woodard. Sure, I love vampires. Sure.
Yeah. There's The Woman King with Viola Davis, which you just got to look at
I don't know about
this
that
week.
one.
I don't know that one.
Sparks, did you see this one?
I saw a news thing about it.
Well, anyway, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. I can't believe the Puss in Boots sequel is finally happening.
I guess I forgot to finally watch that movie.
Antonio Banderas is coming back to play Puss in Boots.
I thought you were going to say about the Woman King synopsis for a second there, but
I don't know it. I just thought you.
Oh, okay. So she's essentially playing this historical war figure. I don't know a lot of details about it. I just know that it's a really exciting point in history to be taking on.
Gotcha.
Thank you.
A historical epic inspired by the true events that happened in the kingdom of Dahomey, one of the most powerful states of Africa in the 18th and 19th centuries.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's just a good shine a light on things that I didn't know about before I heard about the headline. So
Absolutely.
yeah, great for Viola Davis.
I wonder what this "Don't Worry, Darling" with Florence Pugh and Olivia Wilde is.
Who knows?
But Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I'm excited for. I'm excited that we're finally getting the Puss in Boots sequel.
Looking up synopses.
Looking up synopses. Yeah, Puss in Boots, man. I like that movie a whole lot.
Don't Worry, Darling is a 1950s housewife living with her husband in a utopian experimental community. When an experimental community begins to worry that his glamorous company may be hiding disturbing secrets. So it's 50s sci-fi horror.
Well, that's cool.
All right. October, we're now starting to get into a place where it's not really populated, so we'll see some of these shifts. But Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse Part 1 in October. I'm so excited.
I mean, who isn't excited?
Need it.
I know.
I need it so bad. I want it.
Just put it in my brain. Just put it in my veins right now.
Brain
Please.
and vein.
And hopefully Halloween ends.
Evil dies then for sure.
And especially, hopefully, that is the last one.
It definitely will be for a while because now that guy's making the new Exorcist trilogy.
That's true.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
November, The Flash.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, I forgot about that.
I'm curious for sure.
Yep.
I love Michael Keaton as Batman.
That's a good assessment. I'm curious too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Supergirl showing up, everything that's not the Flash, I'm really curious about, which is sad to say.
Untitled Bee Gees biopic. They're gonna call it Staying Alive. They're gonna call it Staying Alive. Watch.
Oh, of course it's gonna be called Staying Alive, 100%.
Yeah.
We'll get there when in December. It's really funny. But Black Panther: Wakanda Forever is the other release this November.
I am not at this moment convinced this still comes out in November.
They just got another COVID delay because somebody got COVID. So that movie's getting pushed.
I believe that this is going to swap places with the Marvels.
Oh,
maybe.
I really do think that'll happen.
Yeah, it's got to get pushed.
Yeah.
The Marvels will be finished.
It's had 3 major delays.
The Marvels is done filming.
As far as I know, yeah. So I'm surprised. Yeah. I was surprised when they pushed back the Marvel dates. I was surprised the Marvels was pushed out this year and Black Panther stayed. I honestly thought they were going to switch.
Me too. Okay, so December, we'll see. Okay, real quickly. So on December 22nd, Untitled Illumination Entertainment Project starring Chris Pratt and Charlie Day.
Hold on, you forgot The Fabelmans, which I want to talk about. It's a movie I'm excited for. It's a semi-autobiographic movie based on Steven Spielberg's own life. He recently casted David Lynch in a role. That's why.
Oh, that's that one. Yes.
He's probably playing John Ford, the famous filmmaker. That's
very excited.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, Untitled Illumination Entertainment Project. I wonder what that is. It's funny.
Yeah, it's Mario.
It's Mario.
Why would you call it Untitled Illumination? We know it's Super Mario.
No, they don't have a name for it. They don't know if it's called the Mario movie, Super Mario Brothers the movie, the Super Mario Brothers movie. They're marketing the bullshit, test subjects, quarantines, zigzags, bing bongs.
It's weird. But Avatar 2 and Aquaman: The Lost Kingdom are at this moment coming out the same day.
No way that's still
bullshit.
No, someone moves.
Avatar 2 is coming out soon because that movie.
Oh, it's coming out in December for sure.
But they can't come out the same day.
No, they won't come out the same weekend.
I just wonder.
One of them's gonna move.
I just wonder who moves.
Okay,
I'm
feeling either Avatar or Aquaman are gonna move to the 23rd slot, the week of Christmas.
It's gonna be Avatar 2. Calling it right now.
Yeah,
Disney
Avatar's
will
gonna
go
move
for that slot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. There is nothing there right now. No offense, I want to dance with somebody.
So
Yeah.
here's the thing, which is unfortunate. The first Avatar came out on December 16th, 2009. So if they want to have synergy, they don't want to move.
But Aquaman doesn't need to be afraid.
No, that's the thing.
Aquaman's not gonna
Aquaman has no. Yeah, I'm not worried about Aquaman. Crazy, two big. They're both underwater crazy sci-fi movies.
There's some stuff that doesn't have a date right now, like Cheaper by the Dozen, Chicken Run 2, Disenchanted, Hocus Pocus 2. Anything here we want to be
I
like,
am excited
wow.
for Disenchanted.
Yeah, that movie's happening.
Really happy that that's coming out. The School for Good and Evil looks interesting based on that bad Netflix promo that came out this week.
Yeah. So that's written by that's not written by Paul Feig, but it's directed by him. I'm very curious about that one.
Mm-hmm. The mom, Untitled Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie.
They're doing 3 Men and a Baby again with Zac Efron.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah,
That's wild.
That's all right. That's cute.
An Untitled Lindsay Lohan Christmas movie. Sign me up.
Hell yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead, Ben. I'm gonna remove this and then put up another one.
Yeah, I was gonna add Now's Jack. So Grayson, of course, is like, that's the Luigi movie, right? The Charlie Day with Charlie Day headlining. I would.
See, that's the dream, Ben. After the Mario movie makes $1 billion, they make Luigi's Mansion.
Mag,
Make it a ghost
Mag,
Oh.
stop it.
Oh.
Hocus Pocus is not in October. It's obviously a December movie. How dare you?
All right.
Cool.
Dare you, Mag?
Okay, so
Jamie Foxx.
So not a lot of the Netflix stuff was on that list. So I wanted to bring up the Netflix one specifically. So this is what they premiered the trailer. I don't want to talk about all of them. Like we don't need to talk about the musical, but there's one specifically that I really want to talk about, which is the Adam Project. So this is Sean Levy's new film. He did Real Steel and Free Guy, for those of you who don't know. This is about Ryan Reynolds going back in time to team up with his younger self. It's got Zoe Saldana. Mark Ruffalo is also in this one. I'm really interested in this one, basically just because of Sean Levy, but I also really like the premise.
I'm more interested in the Mark Ruffalo Jennifer Garner reunion.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, that's cute. I'll trust Sean Levy and Ryan Reynolds, sure.
Yeah.
That was really good. So, they're doing All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yeah, what?
With Daniel Bruhl.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
I love it.
Ooh, I watched that. I remember reading that book in high school too. I watched that.
Apollo 10.5, A Space Age Childhood. What's that?
That's about Richard Linklater's latest epic tale in an animated story on the first moon landing.
There you go.
I didn't watch this Netflix behind the scenes thing.
There's a Jason Momoa movie that looks interesting. Slumberland, that's what it's called. It's got him he's got horns. Looks like he's a dream goat.
My biggest thing, because I do want to talk about it for just a second, like the Netflix
Bug.
promo thing, what bummed me out is I saw other people pointing out Patrick Williams is a prominent one, but all the movies have the exact same production look to them.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me sad.
Yeah, they're cranking them out.
I'm they all just look like they were made by the same people.
Well, I mean, a lot of the same production.
No,
stuff,
for sure. It's just we're talking MCU level, where it looks like they're almost purposely made to look like they all exist in the Netflix cinematic universe. And I'm like, why?
The MCU.
There's Day Shift.
I'm excited for Day Shift.
I am excited for Day Shift.
Me too.
It's a Jamie Foxx Big Dog vampire movie.
Yeah, wild. There's another one here. Oh, Enola Holmes 2. I'm excited for that.
She's back.
Very exciting.
Cool. Oh, I gotta watch that. Sure.
I'm also looking forward to The Gray Man. I know we kind of harp on the Russo brothers a lot, but I'm curious about The Gray Man, basically because of the cast.
Somebody on Twitter says wow, they finally named the movie after what all their films look like.
Right. Ryan Gosling, Chris Evans.
Holy shit.
I'm very excited.
Hell yeah, Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling. Oh, Anna de Armas, Jessica Hedwig. Hot dog. When the CIA's most skilled mercenary, blah blah blah. Okay.
Yeah, it's based on a book series. If you want to keep reading it.
No, you're good.
But Pinocchio. Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Talked about that last week.
This is Home Team. This is isn't this Adam Sandler's new movie? No, it's Kevin James' new movie.
He's being a coach.
This is the Adam Sandler one, Hustle. Doing a new drama, I guess.
Oh good.
Yeah. Knives Out 2. There it is.
Netflix original.
Sure. I mean, everybody's excited for Knives Out 2.
Yeah.
It's a Netflix movie?
Yeah, remember we
he got like bought out for like $1 million.
You know what? I
that
think I do remember.
Netflix bought the 2 Knives Out sequels, 2 and 3, for $4 billion collectively.
Okay, yeah, I think I remember hearing that now. Or,
Yeah.
I remember us
Bungie
talking about
money.
it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about here because we don't really have a lot of trailers for these at this point.
These are all they're all Netflix too, right? These ones.
Yeah.
I do want to touch on the Tall Girl 2, in which they are not introducing an even taller girl.
Come on, y'all. You have one job.
All right, I'm gonna keep going now. I'm gonna punish you. We're just gonna go through this whole list.
I'm sure there's like other TV shows that are Netflix, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, these are all movies
These
anyway.
are all movies.
Oh, these are all movies. Got it.
Okay, so let me go to the TV show section of this. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
there's some Netflix movies that I'm.
Description for Slumberland. We could have found out what Slumberland was about.
It's gone. No, it's gone.
It's gone. It's gone forever.
Part of me wants to say Slumberland was like a Little Nemo sequel or something based off that. Have you guys ever seen that movie Little Nemo? The anime movie?
Yeah. No, I think
you're saying that the movie that has Jason Momoa with ram horns is a sequel or
not
adaptation of Little Nemo and Slumberland? I don't think so.
I think I fell asleep during that part.
Hold on. Here, so in films like Constantine, I Am Legend, and Hunger Games: Catching Fire, Mockingjay Part 1 and Part 2, director Francis Lawrence has made a career out of exploring what nightmare scenarios look like. That's how that sentence starts. That's how that paragraph starts.
Never mind. I guess I was wrong. Well, when you hear a movie called Slumberland, my brain is like, oh, I remember Slumberland. That's from that little anime movie you really liked as a kid.
Oh,
Right.
That was all good color for us to go into. Where is it?
Television.
I think about Little Nemo and Slumberland all the time when he's holding the staff with the glowing orb and he's yelling, "Pajama, pajama!"
Oh, man. That I remember the scene very well.
Okay, TV. Now the TV one will be a little shorter because not a lot of TV shows coming out have dates at this point.
Yeah.
So these are mostly the ones that have dates. Reacher's already out. We don't need to talk about that.
Let's see. You know what I'm excited for? None of those.
Well, I'm excited for one of those.
Reacher season 2.
No, the 2020 Winter Olympics.
That's not a show. That's a live.
Ben,
event.
shut up.
Get out of here.
It's
Only jumps allowed for you, Ben Magnet. Wednesday, it's Friday on February 9th. Man, this is awful. Bel Air. You know what? We didn't talk about the new Bel Air trailer, but I watched it with Sparks. It looks really good. Actually.
We did talk about it.
We talked about the first trailer that we didn't like, and then we watched the second trailer, which was significantly better.
We still like created a little
Did
tangent.
We? Well, we tangented again because Bel Air looks real good.
Yeah, I do.
Of all these, it's the Puppy Bowl, though.
Bring in Grayson's comment.
Oh,
Ben.
All right. What about Maker's Fire Keanu Reeves? I mean, John Wick 4.
Yeah, no.
That's been pushed to 2023.
Yeah.
Not part of this coming year.
So listen, I don't know the only TV shows that I know that are coming out are like more Marvel and Star Wars and Disney shit, but also in November. So
here's Space Force, Marvel's Mrs. Maisel, which I'm excited for. I'm going down. Okay. Cuphead is here?
You passed it.
Oh, there it is. Yes, the Cuphead.
Yeah, Cuphead is.
I was looking for that.
Like, the first TV show that comes to my mind when I'm really looking forward to is Cuphead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that looks like
Marvel shows.
It's really interesting to look at how many of these are streaming service shows.
Oh yeah,
Vikings
Valhalla. Hey, the Proud Family sequel.
Oh yeah,
that's cool.
All right.
Yeah, Vikings Valhalla.
Law and Order Forever. Killing Eve's back, baby.
Oh, yes, I know Killing Eve is coming back later this month, but we are not going to get to watch it because we don't have BBC, so we're going to have to wait.
Oh,
it's so nice that Daredevil got his own show.
Hell yeah, on Acorn too.
Yeah, that's.
Well, I got pulled up this thing from Grayson real quick. Sure. OMG, the Puppy Bowl 17 or 18 bets must be played soon.
Listen, Puppy Bowls are very cute. I've watched more Puppy Bowls than probably Super Bowls in my life.
That makes sense.
Ooh, Outlander fans gonna be happy about that.
Outlander's still going.
Yeah, it's still going. Fans gonna be very happy about that.
Young Rock.
God, they're still doing Survivor.
Ptolemy Gray, which we talked about. Very, very stoked.
Man, this is literally lots of streaming services. You're right.
Yeah,
this is quite a bit. Halo. There's Halo.
There's Halo.
Oh, that's next month. Holy shit.
Okay.
So Atlanta's coming back. Nice.
Yeah.
So I know we kind of been harping on Halo, but I did see a Paramount Plus ad that I thought was really cute. It's a bunch of the like actors and like
don't do this, Ben.
No, they were singing the Halo theme song.
I know what you're talking about. Don't do this, Ben.
It's
not.
not.
What do you mean, don't do this?
It's not cute. It's disgusting.
Right.
Listen,
that's like the exact fear of everyone being like, oh, I don't want Disney Plus to own these properties and make all these things interact with each other. and there they are.
Wow,
Just
I
all
really
shoved
need,
on
I really need to
Paramount
see
Mountain.
the actress from Star Trek sing the Halo theme.
Did I tell you guys about did you guys see the Paramount Plus ads that had every Paramount Viacom owned character climbing up the Paramount Mountain?
Yeah, that was during the
I
Super
remember
Bowl
that.
last
Yeah,
year.
that's what all this is based on. Is that like when they want to shove all their properties onto one mountain and make them sit together? I think the most offensive thing to me is that nobody sounded good doing it. Like everybody sounded awful. Garbage.
Tiger and Bunny still on? Holy shit, that's an anime about superheroes
Yeah,
that I
that's
watched
wild.
a long time ago. Wow.
Moon Knight.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
if Moon Knight's bad, we're gonna have real problems, Marvel. I'm just letting you know right now.
Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, The Orville, The Boys, and Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power rounds out the list.
Oh yeah, those posters came out this week, didn't they?
So the Lord of the Rings of Power, I think is the biggest deal on this list.
It's the most expensive show ever made.
Exactly.
I'm so excited.
So the thing is, like, it can't just be like good enough. It has to be great.
It has to, yeah.
It has to be great. And if it
Yeah.
isn't great, like, I don't think it's underselling it to say that the Lord of the Rings of Power
It can't just be good.
it will
It
be a paradigm shift for genre television going forward.
Yeah.
If it fails, we're going to see the trends of what failed about it, what they feel like didn't work about it, affect all other genre television, especially on streaming services. And if it succeeds, same deal.
I fully expect this first episode to do like a gangbuster numbers.
It will do insane.
It will be like record-breaking numbers for Amazon.
I was really surprised when the name announcement dropped, where it was like, and I thought that they would be hyped towards Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings is a very hyped franchise. A lot of people are looking forward to this. I didn't expect the hype to be that big for a title reveal. I was genuinely shocked at how dominant that it was to the news of that day.
Yeah. Yeah, because like we don't know that much about it, but we do know it is in the past, and it is when like all the rings.
Oh, we
were
know.
forged.
So we actually, because of that title, we know a lot more about it, which is that it's the
Yeah.
Second Age and about the ring maker who made the Elven Rings of Power without Sauron knowing. So Sauron has not really made. It's like before he makes the One Ring, like just before we pick up.
Yeah. So it's so expensive. They have bought our attention because they know people are going to be watching it,
Lord of the
and they
Rings
get
is
that
big.
they get that first episode where you got to prove, like, are you going to grab people or not? It's going to be their Game of Thrones moment.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we'll see. Like, and it will change streaming service television going forward. What they're willing to do, what they think of it. If it is a character-driven show, we are going to see the streaming services of Star Wars and the Marvel shows and everything else on HBO Max. All of that is going to start to trend towards what's working about Lord of the Rings. What was the gamble there that paid off, and how can we adapt that into what we're doing?
Yeah, I hope so.
I'm so excited.
Or the reverse of that. If it doesn't succeed, if it doesn't get the numbers, they're going to take different lessons from it.
Man, they put all or nothing into this show. So like, if it's not a huge success, I don't even know.
Right.
Like Amazon obviously is like the richest company on the planet. They're going to be fine without it. But I'm like, yeah, I don't know what happens if this does.
But it'll
fail.
tell you something. It'll tell you
It's
something
not-
about what television shows are going to be willing to risk going forward.
It's not so much that I'm worried about Amazon not making money off of the show. Like, it's more so that, like, as far like Sparks is right, it the show culturally will have an effect that a show hasn't since Game of Thrones.
It's high risk, and we're waiting to see if it's going to be high reward. And so are all of the other streaming services. They're
Yeah.
going to make decisions based on how people react to The Lord of the Rings.
And you know what? Like,
Very excited.
they got back, like, didn't they get back the original composer too?
Howard Shore, I believe, but yeah.
Yeah. So if we get a real trailer and we get that real Lord of the Rings music, that's gonna destroy millions of people, and that is going to be like the most watched television premiere like of all time. Like, for
Very
real.
excited.
Yeah, like honestly, like next to like Star Wars, like Lord of the Rings has such like people love Lord of the Rings. It's like the one fancy thing that like everyone can agree on. It's like, yeah, we all like it because like it's not Game of Thrones. Not everyone's getting murdered or incest. And like it's so cool that it's like it's coming back. Like I never after the Hobbit guys. Like I don't like a lot of those movies or three. There's only three of them. I don't like those movies very much. And like
3 is already more than it should have been.
yeah, and I'm like I was really worried that like this would be it for a long, long time. And like it has been long enough, I guess. But like. I'm so excited.
Well, it's nice. It feels kind of like The Hobbit when it was pitched to us, right? It's like, you know, we're going back to Lord of the Rings world, but Peter Jackson isn't. Guillermo del Toro is. And so like it feels like it's the Lord of the Rings that you recognize, that you've seen on screen. There's not going to be a disconnect. That's why it's so expensive. But it's not Peter Jackson coming back to the Lord of the Rings. It's someone else going into that world. And I think the main reason why The Hobbit failed is because Peter Jackson came back.
Yeah. I think Lord of the Rings, not just because it is the Lord of the Rings, but because of what it's going to mean for television going forward, specifically streaming service television. This is a watershed moment. It's a sea change. Things will be different after this show comes out.
Yeah. I'm going to stop the screen because there's nothing else on this list, even though there are no dates yet for the, there's no mention of the.
We didn't talk about it very much, but there is a animated boys TV show coming out. I'm not excited for, but the new season of The Boys, I am ecstatically excited for.
Yes, me too.
Soldier Boy with Jensen Ackles. I just watched an interview with him, like why he's so excited to play that role. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so ready for it.
Yeah, agreed.
There's also the Star Wars shows like Andor and Obi-Wan. They don't have dates yet. The She-Hulk and Miss Marvel, they don't have dates yet. So all those I'm looking forward to varying degrees.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let me bring up the video game one now.
Woo! I'm gonna talk. It's gonna be me talking for a lot now.
You mean us talking a lot now?
Ben,
No.
I play way more modern games than you do. What are you talking about?
So true.
What are you talking about?
All right.
You're the retro gamer, Ben.
Yeah, I'm the retro gamer, but doesn't mean I'm not looking forward to current games.
No, I know.
So this list has everything, so we don't need to go through it all.
No, we don't.
Yeah. January.
Just tell me when you want me to stop. Hold, Ben. Just tell me when you want me to stop. Stop scrolling.
Right now. Okay, so we got Sifu coming out next week. I'm very excited for Sifu. All the reviews are already out. They're saying it's great. That is the super martial arts game. The reviews are out. That game is way, way, way harder than anyone knows. So if you guys are ready to play Sifu, know it's a freaking really hard game. Like hardcore Dark Souls hard. Very excited to start playing it next week. I don't think it's a full price game either, which is nice. Because I can't afford $70 games every week. And then you could scroll down. Kingdom Hearts. Keep going. Oh yeah, keep going.
That's stuff going on Switch. We don't.
And now we can stop. All right.
Elden Ring.
Sorry. Warhammer.
Are we talking about Elden Ring, or are we not talking about Elden Ring?
No, we are. Scroll up though, please, Brandon. There's more. I didn't see. Total War Warhammer 3. That is the third game in the Warhammer Total War franchise. A lot of hype behind it. I'm really excited to play that. Great PC game. Destiny 2: The Witch Queen is the super big expansion for Destiny 2. This is like their big yearly launch thing. So fans are really excited for that.
Horizon Forbidden West, the big sequel to.
I missed that one. Oh yeah,
Horizon Forbidden West. That's obviously the big sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. So people are getting hyped for that. The game looks gorgeous.
I have been playing Horizon again, but I haven't been playing it that much because I don't want to put a bunch of hours into a sequel game I'm literally about to play because it's the same game mechanics. So I'm like, oh, but I want to know the story, but the game comes out in a week. I'm so excited for Horizon. That game looks so sick. Fighting a giant elephant monster, I'm all about it.
There's one that says Martha is dead or whatever. I thought it said Mothra is dead.
Why did you say that name?
All right.
Sweet. 15 is coming out. Nice.
Elden Ring. That's
Elden Ring.
Of all the games this month, and there are a lot of big games. Elden Ring is the game. It is the one.
Yeah.
Maybe even this year.
For me, for real, yeah. I truly hate that Horizon and Elden Ring come out a week apart. I have to play both those games, and it's gonna Horizon's just gonna get thrown to the dust. I know it. Elden Ring is open world Dark Souls, baby. What else do you need? That's the only game I've ever wanted in my entire life, and it's here. I'm ready.
Yeah, that's the game. That's the game that's definitely gonna be putting me to driving me to save up for my PS5 because ever since that game came out, I've been talking about it with my little brother. We've been dying to play it. It looks so good.
Yeah, you don't want to play that on your PS4, man. Oh man.
No, I'm playing that on my PS5. That and Demon's Souls I'm playing.
You got weeks.
You got 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Triangle Strategy. That's coming out in March. That one I'm super excited for because that is a pixelated. It's a pixelated Final Fantasy Tactics style tactics RPG, and it looks so gorgeous. It looks so good, and I cannot wait to play it.
I can't believe they didn't change the name. That was the working title when we saw a trailer 2 years ago. Was Triangle Strategy.
Right.
It's fun. That's great.
Yeah.
Guys, guess what? Grand Theft Auto 5's coming out
again
for the third time. I am excited because I want to play GTA 5 with my friends, but I don't want to play it on like old consoles, so it's getting an update, which is great.
Yeah, hold up. I'm not gonna lie. Chocobo GP does look cute. I know it's not gonna be the Mario killer, but it looks. I remember seeing the trailer. It looks cute.
A Mario killer, Ben. It's not even like a Mario punched it in the face. It's
I
not
know,
even
but
a-
it looks cute. But
Yeah.
I'm still
Ben.
Curious for Ghostwire Tokyo.
Did you not? They released a 30-minute presentation about it this week.
I heard.
Didn't
I just haven't had time.
I want to spend a question. What does he think will be a Mario killer? Like you said, it's not going to be the Mario killer. Like you've said that before. Like, what do you think is going to be the Mario killer?
I don't know. I'll find out when I see it.
It hasn't happened yet.
I don't think it will be anything.
Nothing can kill Mario. That's why he's Mario. Yeah, Ghostwire Tokyo. I watched the presentation for it. I don't know about this one, y'all. It is not the horror game that was pitched. It is definitely more of a first-person like city adventure game, well, spooky elements. The gameplay just isn't there for me. It's still the weird first-person
Yeah,
spell
that stuff
stuff.
did look weird.
It doesn't look any better seeing it in full motion.
That's a bummer.
It might be cool to try out, but like I'm not sold on it.
Tiny Tina's Wonderlands.
Yeah, if you guys have PlayStation Plus, they are giving away the Borderlands 2 Tiny Tina DLC for free right now. It's a standalone D&D Borderlands game, so everyone can play it in anticipation for Tiny Tina Wonderlands, which I'm excited
Nice.
And
Also-
Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a great looking Kirby game.
Just I was about to say, because right now we got both Mag talking about Kirby and we got Grayson talking about Kirby.
That comes
Kirby
out
looks,
next month. Shit.
yeah, it comes out next month. That game I'm
know.
definitely I'm getting Kirby day one. That one just looks gorgeous, and it's been a long time since I played a Kirby game, and I'm looking forward to that.
I still gotta
That's
play Pokemon, man. Damn it.
That's on brand for Ben.
Yeah,
Kirby Day One.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Although
I
I'm
didn't-
probably gonna wait a while for Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins. I know I was
Hold on,
kind of
there's a
negative
Starship-
on.
Starship
What?
Troopers game coming out.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so.
For
Oh, no.
PC.
It's probably a strategy game, but I'm into that.
Sounds like it. Terran Command sounds like a strategy game title.
Terran Command.
All right. Moving to April.
It is
Lego.
a strategy. Yeah.
Brandon's most anticipated.
Yep.
Isn't my most anticipated? Is God of War 2
Game?
coming out this year?
Maybe,
No.
Potentially.
maybe.
I'm
If
saying
that's out this year, that's my most anticipated.
Sure.
I will play it when it goes on sale. There are too many good games coming out.
Oh, Evil Dead the game.
That game needs
We need to hear like how that's gonna play.
that game's getting delayed. We have not heard a single thing about that.
This
game.
was the delay.
We
yeah,
still
but it
haven't.
could still happen again.
It still haven't
Yeah.
heard a single thing about it. Sons of the Forest is the sequel to a survival game called Just the Forest. We watched a trailer for it. I think like last E3. I love survival games, so I'm into that.
I remember being excited about Forspoken, but I have to remind myself. what
That
it
is the one with the incredibly good looking graphics with the elemental stuff
Yep,
in
yep,
the fantasy world.
Yep, looking forward to Forspoken.
That is probably the best looking game that's coming out soon. Definitely excited for that one. Yeah, it's like Avatar like looking shit.
Right. Saints
The
Row.
new Saints Row.
I'm optimistic, but I'm not sold on it. I want to believe.
Yeah.
I want to believe. That game is-
September.
So real quick, the Saints Row is a franchise that is like really, really crazy, and this is a reboot where it's taking away a lot of the craziness. So like, it's like kind of why are we doing this? But we'll see.
Sure.
It's like what if Fast and Furious went backwards.
Yes. Yeah.
September, anything? No.
Not Test Drive. That's a space
Nope.
game.
Oh yeah,
Starfield.
Starfield's supposed to
Starfield
come
is the
out.
next Bethesda.
Everybody's very curious.
Yeah.
You
So
think that's gonna get delayed?
after Skyrim and Fallout, this is their new game, and it's
Oh.
exclusive to Xbox because they got bought by Microsoft.
Yep.
December.
Stalker 2, baby. That is a hardcore first-person shooter survival game deep in the heart of Chernobyl itself. I like those games. I like crazy Russian people. I'm into it.
All right. And
That's
a
it?
bunch of the
Yeah,
to be
the-
announced stuff.
Oh, God.
Unannounced dates.
Well,
we got the Advance Wars,
Bad
which we're
work.
excited about coming to the Switch.
hell
Yeah,
yeah.
that one. Last time I saw it, it said they were announcing that one for quarter 1 of this year, or not quarter 1, spring of this year, because it was supposed to come out back in December, which they pushed it back. I'm okay with that. The remake is still, as long as we're getting this remake of Advance Wars 1 and 2, I'm happy.
There's a Quiet Place game coming this year. We'll see.
Yeah. That's like a low budget thing. So
Yeah.
I don't know much.
Uh,
Bayonetta 3, I'm excited for
Bayonetta
that.
Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. They seem to have a lot of confidence in.
Yeah, that game looks awesome. And there was a 360 Avatar game that came out that was actually pretty good too. So
What was have I seen the trailer for this Avatar game? I can't remember it.
maybe.
I want to say we saw a tech demo for it.
Maybe,
'Cause
yeah.
I remember we saw like some gorgeous look. We didn't see any gameplay. We just saw like, hey, this is what the game is going to look like in engine, but we didn't see any story gameplay. I mean, it looks pretty. It looks like you're on Pandora, but besides that, we didn't get anything else.
It is like a third person, like almost like a Far Cry game, or like a third person.
The studio behind it has been talking up a lot of faith that it's going to be a great game, regardless of if you even give a shit about the films.
That's all I care about. It's all I want is a good game.
That's what I want.
Let's see.
Choo Choo Charles.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes!
That's the spooky tank engine game.
The spooky terrain.
For next year.
So I want to tell you guys. So when you told me about it and showed me the trailer, I came home one October night and I showed it to Fanny. And you want to know the first words out of her mouth when she was done watching that?
No.
She's looked at me. She's like, "The guys better make you play this for a spooky arcade next year."
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She can. Hey, if she wants to be there, she's more than invited. You know how that is.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of these are a lot of like smaller games. Blood Bowl 3 is
Cult of the Lamb.
Hold on real quick, Ben. Blood Bowl 3 is the third game in the Warhammer fantasy football game. There's a fantasy league of football where orcs fight humans in football, but it's fantasy Warhammer. And they made a third one, so good for them.
You were really excited for one, Ben.
I thought Cult of the Lamb was going to be on the Switch too.
Cult of the Lamb does look really good.
Yeah. That does look good. Yeah, I remember.
I thought it was going to be on the Switch as well. Darn it!
Then I'm sure it will come to the Switch.
They always do eventually.
Yeah, because I know that's a Devolver Digital, and the Devolver normally gets their stuff to Switch. So,
okay. I'm still waiting for the Cyberpunk 2077 next gen update.
Yeah,
and that should be happening in May.
Also, Destroy All Humans 2 is getting a new remaster.
Oh, I didn't play that first one still though.
Yeah. This Digimon Survive has been one I've been interested in for a while. It's interesting that it's still a PS4, Xbox One exclusive. It's been on the docket for like 3 years now.
That doesn't sound good.
Marty,
nope.
Marty's saying Blood Bowl in the chat.
Yeah, I love that Blood Bowl. Glad Marty.
Dragon Ball: The Breakers. I'm still waiting to hear how things. We don't know the date yet, and they had their beta testing, which went very successfully. And they said like they're going to be adjusting and taking a lot of the feedback. And I wouldn't be surprised if it even gets pushed a decent amount. But I'm still super curious how that game's going to play. I'm a shill for Dragon Ball, so I'm going to end up playing it either way. But I hope it's entertaining enough to play that we all can get in on.
I did watch a couple matches of it, and I think I can only play that with my friends.
Yeah, I suspect that's the only way I'll be able to do it too, but we'll see. Right under that is Doom the Spice Wars.
Yeah, man, I just love a good real-time strategy game. And this is a good year with Warhammer Total War 3 and Doom Spice Wars. And now I guess there's a Starship Troopers one I didn't know about. So, like, let the spice flow, baby.
They're really after you.
They're after all my money.
They're coming to get you, Ryan.
They're coming to get you, Barbara. Oh, Evil West. That's the cool, like, third-person shooter. Demonic, Western game. That looks pretty cool.
That does look cool. Got God of War Ragnarok, as we brought up before.
It's gotta.
Listen, it's November, December at best, but I think it's getting pushed.
Yeah, I think it's getting pushed too.
Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights, I think. Oh no, Suicide Squad got pushed. Sorry. Gotham Knights is probably gonna make it. Maybe. Suicide Squad is out of this year, so I don't have faith for this one now.
Yeah.
But I still want to play it. I'm really excited. I need another.
I am curious. I am still curious about it. I am into the I am interested in the story, certainly. I just hope it plays well.
Yeah.
This is what Mac has to say right now. He goes, "Goodbye, wallet."
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And of course, earlier Marty was super excited for that Love the Blood Bowl, and Grayson is like God of War and Gotham. He's like, "Oh, Gotham Knights."
Yeah, multiplayer Arkham is all I could really ask for. So if it still plays well, and I can be Jason Todd while you guys be the other, that's really cool. That's really cool.
I'm
Hogwarts
scared.
Legacy, which didn't look good even before J.K. Rowling was a monster.
It got delayed hardcore, and people are still speculating that it's not coming out this year because they don't want to talk about it for obvious reasons because it's tied to Harry Potter. So the further they get away from it, the better. But
I'm scared to know what I Am Jesus Christ is.
I Am Jesus Christ. It's exactly.
So I saw a title and I was too curious. It's How to Say Goodbye, and so I wanted to look up what it is. And it's a little indie puzzle game. It's inspired by illustrated books, and you move the elements of decor and manipulate reality to help a group of ghosts wandering between two worlds reach the other side.
Okay.
Dang.
You know that.
Some sad looking art.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's no I Am Jesus Christ though.
I guess not.
Can you put up? Oh, it's your screen's too small for me to see it anyway.
Laura Croft. Oh, those are all just old games.
Yeah. I see the new Jack and Daxter game is coming along.
Oh, Jack Move. His little brother.
That's
Let's see. Little Devil Inside. That looks pretty scary.
oh yeah, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. That's coming to the Switch this year. That's right. Metal Slug Tactics. That's another one we're looking forward to.
Sun, baby.
That was supposed to come out in a month and it got delayed.
That's okay.
That's fine, yeah.
Oh yeah, Multiverses.
I am crazy for Metal Slug Tactics. That's gonna.
Yeah, Multiverses definitely. That's the free to play one. Looks better than it has any right to be. We'll see if I get invested.
Oh my god.
Ooh, Oxenfree's getting a sequel this year. Oxenfree
Real
2
quick,
Lost Signals.
hold
Ooh, Oxenfree's a great indie game.
Scroll up, Brandon. Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
Just real quick. Necro Barista. You play a zombie barista. That game looks cool.
Okay. Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake. I remember that first trailer. It's still PS4, Xbox One. This game's gonna look like ass.
It's definitely coming to the next gen systems. I think that's why they're taking so much time to make sure it looks as good as it's supposed to be. But that game looked like ass.
It looks like ass.
Yeah, it's been like 2 years now, so like hopefully they fixed it.
Very happy River City Girls 2 is coming this year, but one of my most anticipated games of the year is Redfall. I love the concept of that trailer. I hope this game is as good as I want it to be because I want so badly for the four of us to be able to play that game like nobody's business. And
which one's Redfall?
It is the Left 4 Dead open world multiplayer
where they're fighting vampires and they have the unique powers and everything.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That looked great.
It was like the final trailer at like one of the conferences. Yeah.
That looked really great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's made by Arcane, who did like Prey and Dishonored and stuff. So like, and Game of the Year nominee Deathloop this year. So very, very excited for that.
Can't wait.
Replaced is that indie robot game where you play as like a side-scrolling robot. It's like in a post-apocalyptic world where you're like a robot. You used to be a person who got their body replaced or something. That looks cool. Scorn, that was the H.R. Giger really gross like dildos popping out of walls and shit thing. Right. We haven't seen a trailer for like 2 years for that one.
What was the name of the one where you play a cat? Do you remember?
Stray.
Looking forward to Stray.
Yeah. Ooh, let's see.
Oh, wait. We'll find out. There it is.
Somerville's a great indie game I'm excited for.
Stray.
Oh, yeah, that's the Ocean coming out?
Alien Invasion one, yeah.
Okay, so it says Sonic Frontiers. What happened to that? I don't think Sonic Frontiers is coming out this year, but what happened to that Sonic remake of 1, 2, 3, Knuckles and CD that we're supposed to get? What happened to that?
They're asking us.
The pandemic.
Yeah, pandemic.
Star Trek Resurgence. I'm looking forward to.
That's the role playing one, right?
I am very curious about how people are going to react to Star Wars Hunters.
So that's the thing. That's like a mobile game they're turning into like a real game.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be.
I'm very curious, like not necessarily to play it, but to hear how people react to it for sure. The System Shock remake's coming out this year. I forgot about that.
That thing's been in development for so long. That's like that's the spiritual prequel game to BioShock, which more people know than System Shock. System Shock is like crazy underwater science fiction horror. I'm all about it.
Oh, Terminator Dark Fate has a new game coming out.
Yeah,
it's a strategy game.
As we said, Suicide Squad Killer Justice League, this is not up to date. That game was pushed to next year.
Yep. Ooh, the TMNT game is coming out, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
That looks real good.
I cannot wait to play that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. That looks so good.
Temtem is finally coming to consoles. That's the Pokemon game where you can have guns and kill them.
Yep.
I remember that one.
Breath of the Wild sequel is not coming out this year.
No, I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
What was I looking? Oh, Lord of the Rings Gollum.
So
Terrible.
Breath of the Wild sequel. Yeah, Breath of the Wild sequel might still happen this year. It might be November, December, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But if it gets pushed back to 2023, I'm not gonna be mad about it. Because we were talking about this when we were talking about this for back in last June for E3. They said 2022, so we're like, normally Nintendo's decent at letting us know at making their suggested release dates.
Yeah, but these are weird times.
Yeah, but these are very weird times.
Ben, I want to real quickly. You spoke over Ryan when he said Gollum looks terrible. I wanted that on record because I wanted just 2 people said that game looks terrible.
Oh no, it looks terrible. Yeah.
I haven't.
And it's funny because that was like one of the first next gen games announced, and it's coming out so many years later, and it doesn't look good. And I'm like, hey, I guess they can't all be winners.
Yeah.
The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt is getting a next gen update. I will 100% put 100 hours back into that game.
Oh, there's Warhammer
40K Dark Tide.
Left 4 Dead, but Warhammer 40K.
Oh, that's right. That looked awesome.
Yeah, I really hope that feels good
Oh, look,
because I want to play it.
Hell yeah!
And
Wizard with a gun.
Sounds like
Wizard with a gun.
Wizard with a gun.
It looks good.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything I missed? Vampire the Masquerade Blood Hunt that got delayed like a year. So that's definitely probably not coming up this year, unfortunately. Yeah. Good year of games.
Good year of everything, I think.
Yeah, and also this is a situation where like a lot of games also haven't been announced that will come out this year too.
Yeah.
Because like they release it and like 4 months later it'll come out. So like
much in the same way as the TV show ones, like there are still many shows and many dates to be left to be told.
Ooh, there's a movie we didn't talk about that I'm anticipating this year because it wasn't on that list, and it's Dragon Ball Superhero.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
That's true.
Thanks, Brandon, for wearing a Goku shirt so that I could remember.
Guess what it is? Guess what Goku shirt it is?
GT. Yeah, I could tell by the nothing.
There we go. GT.
Little Videl or Pan or whoever the hell that is.
Pan.
Listen, I don't care how bad GT is. Vegeta had a mustache, so it gives me a lot. That gives me a lot. Vegeta looks good with a mustache.
I like the stories in GT a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good stuff coming out this year. A lot of movies that I'm really looking forward to.
Of all the things, give me like your top 1 or 2 of everything that you're excited for.
Well, games is definitely God of War.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes out this year. If not, it's probably Lego Star Wars, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The movies, the Batman, Thor, Love and Thunder, Spider-Verse. There's some good ones. Oh, Lightyear. Oh, Lightyear. There's some good movies that I'm looking forward to. And but I'm also looking forward to like the Adam Project. Like I wonder which movie is going to surprise me. What movie that did I not know about that's going to be like really great. Orville for the TV shows. Orville all the way, man. I'm so excited for that show.
I'm looking at my Moon Knight poster right there, and I'm just like, he's truly a character that I never thought that he would become live action. And if he did, they wouldn't do him justice or do like the psychological stuff. They would just make him just a dude. Yeah. And I watched the trailer where even though Oscar Isaac has a weird accent, they're doing Moon Knight, and I'm like, wow, like this is one of those characters where like I feel like as a fan like we made it. So Moon Knight for me is maybe not my number 1, but it's the one that I am the most excited for just to see happen. I want to see Tom Cruise's Iron Man real bad.
What about you, Sparks?
What
about you, Sparks?
I feel like I kind of said it as we were going through, but
this is a final.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of everything now. After what I said, I think probably in shows I'd have to probably say the Lord of the Rings show more than anything, just because of what it's going to mean going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Film wise, I guess Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. I'm excited for the Nick Cage, Pedro Pascal, the uncrushing weight of whatever a lot.
Me too.
I am really looking forward to Aquaman 2.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm really, really looking forward to Aquaman.
You know what? I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I'm looking forward to Avatar 2. I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I don't even know if I'm excited for it. I'm just like, James Cameron's been working on this one for 10 years. I gotta see what it is.
It's gonna be visually like it's gonna be a spectacle at the very least.
Yeah,
minimum.
Yeah.
Ben?
Games wise, I'm actually more excited for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. I'm really looking forward to that one. I love the first one.
Pick one that is for sure coming out this year, though.
For sure.
I'm not guaranteed. I don't believe in it. I want to believe, but I don't believe.
Okay, for sure coming out. I would definitely say Kirby.
Okay, there you go.
Ben's a Nintendo boy.
No, I get it.
Soul.
No, I get it.
I'm a Nintendo boy. And that doesn't work.
Honestly, I'm really excited for that Kirby game too. It's like post-apocalyptic, but like he's like super cute in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You haven't touched Pokemon Arceus, right? Not yet?
No, I haven't. I've seen it. I've seen videos of it. I saw Grayson play a little bit of it. It does look good, but I'm also trying to save some money. But Kirby, just something about that new Kirby game is like, I'm going to get it. And the reason why I didn't say Elden Ring, Sparks, is because I don't know when I'm going to get my PS5.
Yeah.
You can still be excited for it.
You're a Nintendo boy?
So what if I'm a Nintendo boy?
That's nothing.
Right. What about movies, Ben? There's certainly a movie that you're looking forward to, sure.
Besides Sonic the Hedgehog, Thor. I'm excited for Thor.
Yeah. Oh, looks good.
I am stupid excited for Thor. Of course, Spider-Man. And you know what? I am interested in seeing Avatar as well. If part of me is just hurry up or not just hurry up, just get it done. Just because we've been talking about this movie for over 10 years, and it's like there was a joke that it was never going to come out, and you know what? the fact that it is for sure coming out, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to see it.
I'm here for the Worthington-assance.
Yeah. Definitely not doing anything else. Man, crazy. Avatar, such a moment in time.
Do you think it'll even do anything for him because we're not even going to see his real face the whole time?
No.
All right. Well, that's everything. There's obviously more stuff, but check it out. Okay, should we get into our book club?
I will only watch Fantastic Beasts 3 when it's free on whatever streaming service is on, because I can't miss a Mads movie. But I don't want to pay money for it.
Just watch all the Mads scenes.
I will do that. I will fast forward. Yeah, there you go.
Just wait for the YouTube compilation, all Mads best
I
scenes.
love Mads Mikkelsen so much. So
he's great.
And I do not want to see that movie whatsoever. No. But God, I love Mads. Sorry, that's it. Book club time.
All right. That's why I'm like, I'll watch Jurassic World Dominion, because I've got my least anticipated, which is Fantastic Beasts, and anything above that is a vast improvement.
I love Laura Dern with all my heart, so I will see that movie for Laura Dern.
I want to watch Solo again. All right, book club.
Solo.
What? Ah. I thought that played. Mag, pull up some. Ben, pull up some things.
All right. So Mag is scared about the Mario movie. You're not the only one, bud. I want to see that trailer, but also I'm very scared.
I don't. There's nothing about that. No. Stop.
I want to see Jack Black as Bowser. That's the one thing, the big thing that I'm looking forward to. And Grayson saying, "Give me a Knuckles movie. I'll be excited for Sonic movies."
That's literally what they're doing.
Hold on. Let's see the movie first before we do spinoffs. I'll allow it, but I just gotta. Nah, Idris wins.
Knuckles is in the movie.
Yeah.
But
Knuckles did get his own comic book for a short while until that was ungraciously
good for him. Ryan, take it away.
Big Knuckles. Hey guys, my name's Ryan, and it's the season of love. So I picked just a bunch of comics that have love involved in some particular way. Not really curious about the overall arching plots of the individual issues, but just about the relationships that are going on. So we're gonna talk about two different relationships, and the first one we're gonna talk about is Storm and Forge. This is a little story called Life Death. It takes place in Uncanny X-Men 186, Life Death, a love story. Storm was depowered by a machine made by Forge. It was originally going to be used on Rogue, but it accidentally got used on Storm. So Storm is now powerless. The most powerful mutant in the world has become just a regular human. And you guys read the issue. She's not feeling it. I think this issue is incredible. I think it is a beautiful piece of storytelling, not just between two kind of broken characters, but I think the artwork by Barry Windsor Smith is beautiful. And he draws, the way he draws eyes, especially eyes that have sorrow in them, it's some of the best I've ever seen in a comic. When Storm is depressed or when Forge is depressed, you really feel it in this comic, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
And you guys are very familiar with modern, the Krakoan era of X-Men. So you guys don't know about Storm's depowered age, where Storm was the leader of the X-Men for multiple years without her powers. And it's the coolest she's ever been. It's the coolest she's ever looked, but she had to get through some depression first. And I'm just curious what you guys thought of Life Death.
I really liked it. There's an issue that I have with a lot of comics of this era. That is, I do feel like it's overwritten. That was just the time. But there's a lot of really profound stuff being said that I found myself really every couple of panels going, oh, damn, okay.
That's all.
Tell me about life. Why don't you?
I love it.
With life, there are always options, possibilities, hope. You never know what will happen next, for better or worse. Death may be certain, but it's also final. Once done, it's done. There's no second thoughts, no going back.
Yeah, that's Forge talking about how he tried to kill himself once, and now he's there. He's there for Storm, so she doesn't do that. This is a really beautiful issue, and also for me, I've been ingrained in the X-Men my entire life. I know these characters inside and out. I haven't read this issue until last week, but knowing them in the future and how they got here, being here now, I'm God, this means this issue is so awesome. Forge lives in Dallas inside of his. He's not part of the X-Men. He's his own mutant on his own terms, and he lives inside a techno cube that he made of his own of his own design that has invisible flooring, which really screws up Storm because she's tripping up.
He puts her in the storm,
and he puts her in the storm, which is a really messed up thing to do. I just think their relationship's really great, and it's
when you're going through shit and you don't have someone to help you, that's a real big bummer. And Forge, I think, is a really cool character because he's someone who's an isolationist. He doesn't like the X-Men. He thinks what they're doing is kind of shitty, right? But he still likes them because they're his own people. He's in love with Storm. You guys can tell, and you can see why. She's a tall, beautiful goddess. And she just has no self-esteem. And I understand, Brandon, about like overwriting. That is a personal thing. I love.
It's not a criticism. It's just
no. I know. No, that's why I say it's a personal thing. That's why it's a personal thing. I love comics that are overwritten because it gets to the core of of who the character is. And like Forge, man, like he's like, Storm, you woman, you got to do this thing. And then he's like, oh, dang it, I love her so much, I can't tell her how much I love her. And like all of that interpersonal dialogue is really important, I think. Oh, that was a cute picture of Luna.
Like, I love the scene.
the stuff of Forge talking about how he tried to kill himself and now like he's there for Storm. I just think it was really, really good. Yeah, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I love the scene where Storm is trying on dresses and she tries on like the gown and she goes downstairs and Forge is just like shocked and he's like, oh no. He wants to say all these things, but then when Storm realizes that she's causing a little bit of a problem, she's like, oh crap, this is not going the way I want. And both of them have that internal dialogue. It's like, oh, why didn't you say, like Forge is saying, why didn't you tell her that she was the most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life? And then Storm is like, no, you shouldn't have gone that strong. You should have gone a little more. What's wrong with you? Just like internal dialogue. It's like, I'm just reading that as like, man, this is kind of going into like when there's these two people who really like each other, but they constantly are saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, and then they like, it's like when someone says something stupid, the love interest walks away, and they look into the mirror like, you idiot, why'd you say that?
Yeah, and I love that shit. It is very old school writing, but like Storm's like. Or excuse me, Forge is like, great, have your own way, see if I care. And then he leaves like, damn it, trouble is I do care. And I'm like, that's so cute. How do I reach someone who doesn't want to be helped? And I'm like, oh, that's so cute. I love it. Let's see. Oh god, yeah. So when he's swimming, so they get into a fight, Forge starts swimming, and then Aurora goes to him. And he's like, oh, the water looks nice, Forge. Do you mind if I join? And then she sees that he's an amputee, and they have that awesome exchange of like, it's a part of me, but like it's not who I am fully. Like, I'm an inventor, but I'm still the person that I am without it. And you're still the person you are, Storm, without your power. But she doesn't see that because she's only known power her whole life. It's just like a really sweet dialogue stuff.
Yeah.
She pickpockets him. I thought that was a cute little exchange.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. Like Storm grew up in Egypt as a thief.
No, people saw.
X-Men Apocalypse.
That's true. Thank God for that. Thank you, Oscar Isaac.
I echo what you said. I think that the art in this issue is incredible. Really, really enjoy it. I think they do a very good job with the relationship dynamics between Forge and Aurora and what we explore about him being from Vietnam and things like that. We haven't touched on it all, the side story with Rogue.
Well, because it's
but it's hard to but we did read it, and I think it's interesting. It's hard to grasp like what exactly is going on with the girl that she's
Val Cooper
being chased by Val Cooper, but it's still really, really wonderful art.
Oh, even like again, like there's like, this is still like an overarching arc with the dire wraiths and Val Cooper and stuff. So like, that wasn't as important, but like, I love, man, the way that Rogue used to be drawn and the way Mystique and Destiny used to be drawn, like they were drawn like old ladies, and I love the way they look. And now like Rogue is like super young and hot, and like that's a great look too. But like, I love like grandma looking. You can see like grandma looking Rogue with like the skunk hair and like the blouse. And I'm like, I love old school looking X-Men. I just think the last thing I'll say is like, it's really cute to see two people who know they like each other. And Ben, you described it perfectly. Like they like each other, but they don't want to say it. And it's like, will they, won't they? And it's very like soap opera, but that's all of Claremont. She's like, she's never drank before. And Ford's like, why don't you try it? She's like, ooh, it tickles my nose and it makes my hair stand on end. And he's like, oh, I love your laugh. You should let people hear your laugh more. And I'm like, it's really good stuff. And it ends on a sad note too, because it turns out that like Forge is the person who depowered Storm, and she didn't know that in the past. So like that ends their budding romance of a couple weeks. And I just think it's a cute little story. It's mostly for the art. I love the art of the story.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Now we're just going to move on to my favorite couple in comic books. Emma Frost and Scott Summers. Again, you guys have read Modern X-Men. They've been broken up, but they're still banging, as you do in Krakoa. They were together for over 15 years, from 2000 until about Hoxpox. And and I think they're everything I love about like comic couples, like Batman, Catwoman, Spidey, Black Cat. It's like two opposing forces that like should not get along, but they do. Cyclops is like the heart and soul of the X-Men. He is like the Boy Scout. He will do everything that he can to save his people, but he doesn't want to be a bad person. As you can see, as you read in these comics, he becomes slowly a bad person with X-Force and stuff. And Emma Frost, who was a supervillain, who straight up just did cocaine in the 80s and wanted to kill Kitty Pryde, and she killed horses that the X-Men owned and stuff, became a superhero. And it's the budding relationship of how do these two different people who love each other live their lives. And we read a bunch of issues about that. And I'm just curious about what you guys think about these two.
I really like these 4.
Cool. Tell me some more.
Yeah, I love how every aspect of these books, the Cyclops and Emma Frost ones, kind of, it doesn't dive into their relationship more, but it's a different aspects of relationship. Like the Cable issue, for example. Scott is worried about Cable, and Emma is there is like, look, let me help you shoulder this burden. You don't have to fight alone. The Dark X-Men one, the Confessions one, where both of them have to lay out is like, look, I have done things, you have, and look, I've done horrible things, and the others like, no, I've also done horrible things, and they lay it all out on the table.
The Confession is like the book about the couple. Like that is the best.
Yes.
Because I asked my friend on Twitter, what books should I pick read for Scott and Evan? She's like, you got to do the Confession because that is like the core of them getting at who they are as people. And I'm like, right.
Yeah, because both of them, like, I was really liking Scott Summers in Krakoa, and then when I'm reading this, I'm like, oh yeah, because he's a good at character. I've definitely turned on Scott Summers over the years, but him talking about I've created X-Force to do horrible things, and he's feeling remorseful for these horrible things.
We've talked about that when we talked about that with we did Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 a couple years ago now, I believe, and we talked about how Scott was doing. What Scott was doing with X-Force, and I think that all tied into this around the same time, right, Ryan?
Yeah. So real quick, Ben. So like X-Force is the thing now that everyone's cool with. Back in like 2010, X-Force was secret, and the X-Men did not know about it. Only Scott, he commanded the X-Force. So like,
I got that.
Like Wolverine's like, who do I got to kill? Just tell me, and I'll go do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
dude, I understood that part. That part. Yeah, when he was reading that, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. X-Force was like the covert Black Ops of the Army of X-Men. And then when we get to Uncanny X-Men, I want to say 518, 519, that is, once again, Emma shouldering the burden, but also proving to the Void and to Scott that she's ride or die. Like she is there and she's ready to go with it. And even Scott's like, look, I'm here, I'm good. Like Scott goes in to help Emma because she's stuck in her diamond form with, you can see the Void in her head. I love that. And then when the Void's like, no, I'm going after him. And I just really like that scene where the Void sucks him in, and then he closes the box, and he's like, "Dude, I did the most powerful telepath in the entire world for years. You want to know how hard it is being a teenage boy with a girlfriend who can read your mind? I got this." And when he puts it back, he goes, "Thank you, Jeannie. I owe you another one."
The box thing was interesting because I read Dark Avengers after I read the Uncanny X-Men 518, 519. And so like going backwards, I'm like, I can piece it together, but it was interesting being like, oh, the Uncanny X-Men issues being like, oh, that's a really cool concept of like hiding it into a box, and then like going backwards to Dark Avengers, be like, no, that was always the thing. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah, man. I want to talk about the Cable issue real quick because like Scott Summers did a really messed up thing. He to save his child. It was to save his child, but he sent his son 2,000 years in the future with his also future daughter that he doesn't really know very well to save him because he has the techno-organic virus that will turn him into a robot monster. He's like, hey, we can figure this out in the future. He just sends him off, and then he doesn't do anything about it after that. So when Cable eventually comes back to the past, they have their feud, and like things don't get resolved for a long time. And it's nice that Cable issue is like, you did what you had to do, but it's like it's still a messed up thing, and Emma recognizes that too.
Well, it's interesting to see the two like. Having Scott being torn up about what he did with Hope because of what he did with Cable, because he gave up both of his children in very similar ways, and seeing him like deal again with the guilt that has even say in dialogue of the issue being like he forgave me, but I never forgave myself, and like seeing that like the stuff with Hope is bringing up all this old wounds with what happens to Cable, so you get this interesting dynamic between the two time periods. I just thought all of that worked really well.
Yeah. And And it's unfortunate you didn't read them in order, but like it doesn't change too much up.
No.
Like you see like a progression of the relationship of like, because this happened like each issue is like they were like a couple months or a year apart from the last one. And what I love about this is like you also Hank is a side character in all these books that you get to see his progression of how he turns into the genocidal monster that he is today. And it's Scott Summers' fault. It's such a bummer, y'all. Hank used to be the bouncing beast, and then he had to grow up because Scott Summers told him to grow up, and they need to be adults about this shit. Oh, Brandon, keep running into stuff. But like Hank is not cool with X-Force. Because like there's a scene, hold on, I gotta pull it up, when he's talking to Wolverine. And he overhears like, Scott, I wasn't eavesdropping, but I'm not tracking the Bishop's arm to sentence him to death, right? I haven't turned the X-Men into killers, have I? And Scott just like gives him like a sullen look. And I'm like, that's the start of Hank going down the road because of Cyclops. And then afterwards, in the confession, Hank's like, so many secrets, Emma, we can't have this in our lab. I'm like, oh my God, Hank, you're turning into this monster. I love it. And now in 2022, he's literally genociding an entire country of people.
Well, it's interesting seeing that progression, like Uncanny X-Men 518, 519 too, because he's more conflicted than he was in the first two issues. He's looking at like the stuff with Magneto and being like, you know what are we doing here? What am I to Scott? You know what? Scott's taking me down this path. Like he's dealing with it. He's like having his own introspective arc in these two issues that culminated in him like, I'm leaving. I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, he just straight up walks out, and he eventually comes back. He also, after this, like he sides with the Avengers in the Avengers vs. X-Men, and he sides with the Inhumans, and he tries to kill the mutants in the Inhumans. And I'm like, Beast has had a rough go about it, but that's because like Beast hates himself, and he hates being a mutant, and it's very much like a very like a visual thing. Like he hates being a blue person. It's very much the anti-Mystique.
I like this design for him.
Yeah, but he's like more like a cat looking.
Yeah,
that was like a Grant Morrison carry on.
Looks like the Scooby-Doo villain.
Oh yeah,
Zombie Island.
Sure. Yeah. So yeah, like again, like I don't really care about talking about the plot too much about this. Like, I just love Emma Frost and Scott Summers because they're definitely like the high school nerd somehow is dating like the hottest girl in school, and like why does that work? It's because Emma Frost, she is a good person. She might not think she's a good person, but at the end of the day, she really is a good person. It just took her a really long time to get where she is.
Yeah.
And my thing that I love so much about this couple, more than Scott Summers and Jean, they're a great, fine couple. That is the high school relationship where you're not really challenged, right? You know, like lovey-dovey. Emma Frost challenges Scott Summers at every chance that she gets. Like, Scott, I thought one of the last pages, like before there's so much making out and sex in these comics too. Brandon, talk about horny comics, am I right? Emma Frost is so horny all the time for Scott Summers. Oh my God. And I lost my point because they're too horny.
If it's okay, I want to jump in with something that I really appreciated when you can see how Scott has changed Emma, and just in the note that she leaves, like, I'm gonna go kill someone, I might come back, blah blah blah, and then she's just still at the front door. She couldn't leave. She couldn't do it. That was a really sweet moment. Just her crying, that vulnerability that she has developed with Scott. It's awesome. Great moment.
Yeah. I think that the Cable issue has a pretty good example of Scott needing to try and consciously keep things from Emma. I think they do a really good job of writing that. I like the confession. I like where their stuff mixes into each other, and they're
different stories.
And I thought all that art was done really well.
Yeah,
and I really like the last two issues where Cyclops is played by Hugh Grant.
Sure, yeah. Those are just fun issues because the Void, who is the evil part of the Century, had a piece clocked into Emma Frost's brain. So Cyclops has to go do psychic surgery with the help of Professor X and Psylocke. There's a great point where you think like Cyclops is like, he's on the verge of getting taken over. So Psylocke is ready to chop his head off. And Emma, oh yeah, look at that.
This is Hugh Grant.
Oh yeah.
This is Hugh Grant and
Cyclops.
God.
So like all the art has been good in all these issues, but like this is peak Dodson's. Terry and Rachel Dodson. I love their heavy line work. They draw the most beautiful Emma Frost. I love her with her long hair and diamond form. Like I love that look so much. Fighting the Void is just really fun. You see a dozen different types of Emma Frost. And then when the Void goes into Scott, Emma Frost becomes like a commander with like a beret and she's like, troopers, we're here to kill this thing.
I was like, oh man, she put on her Resident Evil 2 outfit.
She put on her Resident Evil 2 outfit, yeah.
I thought the exact same thing, Sparks. I was like, man, she looks like Jill from Resident Evil. This is great.
Jill Valentine, yeah. I love this couple because again, they're not your traditional couple, and it's a bad person trying to become good, and it's a good person who thinks they're doing the wrong thing, but like they're really doing it for the right reasons. And I just love that they're always complimenting each other, or they're always helping each other of like, no, you're not a bad person. Like, you're doing exactly what you need to do. Or like, Emma, like, you think you're this person. Like, I know who you are. And I forgot that she did sleep with Namor and Tony Stark. She has a restraining order with Tony Stark in the future. I hate it. They're the worst couple. I hope they never get married. That's the prediction from history of the Marvel Universe that people don't want to have happen. But like, I love that they're willing to show that Emma does sleep around. And that's like, it's like, Scott doesn't think any less of her. And like, why would he? Because it's just, who cares?
The Cable issue had an interesting parallel with Cable Reloaded that I really liked, which the Cable section talks about how the timeline keeps shifting. Mm-hmm. Like, it's never the same timeline. He's always the same Cable jumping from the past to the future, and it's never the same. Cable Reloaded did a similar thing. I really like that look of from Cable's perspective of he can tell when the timeline has changed from what it was previously to what he came from. It's no longer been the same. And there's a bit where Hank talks about like I can't track it through all the timelines, meaning that, like, you know, talking about the different branching timelines of the Marvel future. All that was really cool.
Yeah, he goes to Hank and he's like, so you find that thing for me? He's like, bro, you make me find something in like multiple timelines and multiple streams. Like, this is my first day, but I am pretty good at it. And I'm like, oh, Hank, you're so silly.
But I got an idea.
Yeah, I got an idea. Yeah. Let me see. I got anything else? They're just always kissing, always making out. I love it. Oh my god, the scene with Bobby. So Predator X was a series line where you saw them, like these mutant hunting robots were killing people. So on I was about to call it Krakoa, on Utopia, Bobby's burning all the bodies, and he's like, bro, I used to like be like a teenager having fun, like fighting Magneto. Now we're doing like government crazy shit. Like, I don't like this. And Hank's like, you just got to grow up, Bobby. I'm sorry, boy. And I'm like, man, Hank's really turning into something. And it's really cool to see literally like the 15-year trajectory of like starting to get a little more suspect. And now he really is like, he's like the leader of like the CIA. It's really cool.
Yeah. I really like that. The Utopian thing at once, it reminded me, it's funny how many times the X-Men have tried an island.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I forget which Cable issue it is, but like somebody asked Cable, like, oh, so like, what timeline are you from? And they're like, do you have the island? He's like, which one?
Yeah, that was. I think Cable. I think that was Cable Reloaded.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, man. I love Emma Frost, and I love that, like, this like badass bitch who is like, she knows what she wants. She can get any man she wants, and she's like, no, I love this Boy Scout who is trying to help his people, because at the end of the day, that's all she wants, is to help her people and help the children, and he's the best person for it. She's great. Love her and Scott, and now you guys know why I love her. And then,
yeah, these were really nice issues.
Yeah, love is love.
All right, next week, my turn. I chose a Star Wars Boba Fett Blood Ties. This is the first Star Wars Boba Fett written by Tom Taylor.
It's my favorite romance novel.
I don't go in for that. I'm sorry. I want to talk about Star Wars. You know, Star Wars is an epic love story. Yeah. Anyway, so it's the first thing Tom Taylor wrote for Marvel, Star Wars Blood Ties. So we'll see. You know, I was just curious about doing a Boba Fett book. I thought an old one would be cool.
So I mean, someone's gonna talk about Boba Fett, right?
It's talking. It's available. You can find it in print on the Boba Fett Legends epic collection that Marvel put out recently. Should you want it? Okay. Next week we're also talking about Nightmare Alley.
Ooh, I'm excited to watch it.
Yeah. So Guillermo del Toro's new movie. So stay tuned.
Watch it, so you can be part of the conversation. Go to Hulu or HBO Max, because it's on both.
Nice.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's Fox. They probably had that deal. All right. Okay, that's it. So bye, guys. Bye, Mag. Mag, put out a thing if you can.
Yep. He said, "Take care, stay safe, catch you later."
You too, sir. All right, you can check out other shows. What?
Well, Grayson also was like, "Romance bros."
Ben, just so you know, the Boba Fett comic is not on Marvel Unlimited. It is too old.
Damn it.
Yeah, this is probably also because it's not a Dark Horse book. But what the Dark Horse books be on that? Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, this is a pretty old one. Anyway, so you can check out our other shows, such as Conversation. Fake Nerds Watch. If you want to check out our other shows, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Check out Fake Nerds Watch. That's our series where we go through other things. We talked about the Boba Fett, a Peacemaker special coming. Start to Discovery is coming back next week, so look for Mike and Cookie returning with me to do that over at Fake Nerds Watch. I'm also going to try and convince them to do it with the Orville New Horizons with me. So hopefully we'll see that too.
Yeah.
It might be too much for them, but I'm going to try. Basement Arcade, check out that. New episode of Mortal Kombat X will probably be up soon. Of course, it is completely contingent on Sparks' very busy schedule at the moment. And Basement Arcade pause menu.
Sorry.
What?
I said I'm a mess.
We all are, buddy. We all are. Ben, Basement Arcade pause menu has a new episode out now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fake Nerd Book Club.
Yeah, you're right. We talked about it earlier.
Hey, this is your time to be like, again, check it out. Link in the description.
Check it.
But you know what?
Check it
You missed it. You missed it. Fake Nerd Book Club. Check that show out. Animation Station as well. Again, like this video, subscribe to this channel. Check out all those things. We put out a lot of stuff. Check out some masks. We do some Crafted by Z masks. That's my girlfriend's company. You can link those below, and you can get a mask. Our Patreon and our TeePublic, if you want to support us financially that way, all those are linked below, or you can find our website at fakenerdpodcast.com. Thank you to everyone who listens. Thank you to everyone who watches the rewind. Thank you to everyone who watched this live tonight. Appreciate all of you. Thank you to Jeremy Bellucci, who did all the music you heard tonight. All the music for all the other shows that I mentioned. New episode of Suburban Proctologist soon. Soon. You can find that on iTunes or Suburban Proctologist Official or Instagram.
Not that soon.
Our Instagram at Subproc Podcast. You can find him at Jeremy Bellucci Keyboards. Mike Matola. You can find his stuff at Mike Matola on Instagram and TikTok. He's the guy who did all of our logos.
All?
3 of our logos.
A majority of our logos.
No, actually, Sparks has that honor now.
Sparks, yeah, take that, Mike.
Yeah, screw Mike. Am I right?
I didn't say it.
Hopefully we'll have him on soon for another trivia challenge. Trying to see if this month will work, so stay tuned.
I want to do it.
So find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all at Fake Nerd Podcast, fakenerdguys@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us personally, I'm at BT McClure on Instagram and Twitter. Ben.
You can find me trying to do my taxes at BenMac27 on Instagram and Twitter. Also, you can find me writing for Old School Gamer Magazine, both the website and the magazine. Go to Nintendo.com when that eventually does get relaunched, and Fusion Gaming Magazine.
I write for Screen Rant.
I have a lot more stuff to say now.
I always forget. I gotta promote myself. I gotta be better at promoting myself. Sparks.
You can find me not doing anything that you can check out at SparksWitty on Instagram and Twitter, SPARKZ Witty.
Hey, if you win this contest, my friend.
You still can't check it out.
Well, darn it.
Damn it.
I could check it out, though. I'm your friend. You could just show it to me.
I mean, shh. Yes.
Ryan.
Hey, guys, you can find me just loving Emma Frost and Scott Summers way too much at DJ Tony Snark.
Subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, a podcast, and Pandora. Rate and review. Whoop.
Did you guys know Emma Frost has a fake British accent? She's
Yes.
from Boston, Massachusetts.
I think I saw that in the Krakoan Age stuff. Okay, rate and review wherever you get us. We greatly appreciate it. Like this video, subscribe to our channel. Until next time we see us, stay fake nerds.